A Machiavelli production. Friday night stream lights hit, we locked in. No excuses, no delays. Lil Chad and Slender Dad, that duo moving different, set in the stage. Brahma Bull in the cut, dropping wisdom like it's sacred text. Machismo bringing that chaos energy, leaving the whole place wrecked. Fandom singing every bar, the harmonies feel sanctified. Real ones in the building, whole room shouting, can't be denied. We rose from the dirt, no handouts, no cosigns, had to make our own name. Now the squad stay locked in tight, ascending art, we spark that fucking flame. Ascending art, we've been here since that very first spark. Every punchline hitting heavy, tearing old school style apart. Grab your snacks, get comfy, real for real, we play in every part. The stream a whole vibe, we elevate the fucking art. Culture casino might slide through, depending on the night. But best believe there's a guy called Imp, and that 70s rock fan keeping it lit, holding down the spot. No cap, we've been fucking ready since the very first spark. Every punchline landing heavy, leave the old shit ripped apart. Grab your snacks, get comfortable, real for real, we play in every part. The stream a whole vibe, we elevate the fucking art.
Hello, welcome to the show, everybody. How we doing?
I like Mad Chemical Romance.
I know.
And Matt's never, ever, ever going to get away from my statement of he has the worst taste a human being could ever have in music.
Hold on, I just noticed how come Culture isn't a fun character. Culture's not a fun character. Culture's Culture. I don't think you can chemical romance Culture up.
He transcends animation.
You could possibly ZZ Top Culture, but maybe, I don't know if he would.
Honestly,
fit
I
in.
will also accept Slender at the Disco. These are both good.
So there we go. And we actually have Imp here. Friday. It's been a little bit since he was here right at the beginning, so this is awesome because we're gonna have.
He got old and broke.
Well, the other thing is because the main story I think that we'll spend a lot of time today is kind of gaming, because we've been touching around some of the issues, but Xbox came in with their
Spoiler
thing this
alert.
week. Yeah,
There's no good news.
Yeah, so
No.
at least for console.
No, not at least for console. There's no good news.
Not
yeah.
a zilch.
I'll give you one tiny little bit of good news, but it's not really news because everybody knows the Steam Summer Sale is going on right now.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only good
and Pal
news.
World 1.0 drops in a few days.
Yeah. Like,
There's your bits of good news. Accept it and move on.
yeah.
All right.
Because now you're going to get kicked in the nuts
Yeah.
for the rest of the show as far as gaming news is concerned.
Yeah, but so to get us in the right mindset for it, I think in terms of the progression of the show, we'll start with the shit show that is Supergirl, and then move into gaming because it'll properly frame everyone's mind going into the gaming conversation, and then
To preempt that a little, Chad was like, "Hey, Slender, are you gonna come hate watch this with me?" And I'm like, "Dude, I've had enough bad news this week. I think I might start yelling in the theater if I go watch that movie."
Yeah, it seems like shit. This seems to be a shit week for everybody.
Damn,
You got some sort of stomach virus. I blew my shoulder out. I found out today a buddy's brother died. Like, what the fuck is going on?
And continuing this, we got Shifty over here with his range hood light switch just broke, fell into the unit 5 minutes ago. I had to go shut the breaker off. Tomorrow's going to be fun. I mean, everybody's just having
It's just one of those weeks.
Yeah, it's
Why'd you have to shut off the breaker for the range hood?
Well, if he said it fell into the unit, so it would probably to be able to pop it open to get to where it fell in.
Oh, he's got to reach in there. Yeah.
You don't
I
want
could
that
see
on.
I mean, you could, but
I would. I mean, I've taken plenty of voltages. I kind of get off on it.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me even in the fucking slightest with you. And it still never ceases to fucking amaze me. I'm supposed to be like the Dark Lord of the fucking North or some shit, and meanwhile you people are all more degenerate and twisted than I am.
Have you ever seen Down Periscope?
Yes.
You know the part where he's licking his fingers and he's checking all the wires, and then he hits the
Yes.
live one and he's like, hot. It's a really basic, boiled down version, but that was one of the things that I did on the ship.
So here we go. This is
Explains a lot.
this is the night. Here's the clip for us this week.
I know this is a dark time for you, but I'd like to get your thoughts on what happened today.
Well, Tim, today I lost the big game and a dear friend. I'm feeling pretty vulnerable right now. I don't think I should be alone. I really need people to talk.
It certainly does seem to be raining shit on Joe Cooper right now.
I forgot about that. I was like, I know I've seen this movie, but I don't remember what happens here.
I just love the I'm gonna have to pull that clip where it certainly seems to be just raining shit on Joe Cooper, because that's this week's news. Really, that's the clip for this week. The clip of the week is it's just raining shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because man, it's not a good thing. Yeah, hello fellow nerds, how are you? Hey, Boosh hanging out. There we go. Anyway, but yeah, so we'll let's see.
Did you actually go watch Supergirl?
I did.
How bad?
Poor bastard.
All right, so right now Rotten Tomatoes is undercutting how bad this movie is. So bad. Like they're putting it at a 57. Here's the other thing.
It's got a 76. There's a bunch of feminist bitches.
Well,
going
no.
in.
You have to understand. There's a sunk cost fallacy. So there's a thing called cinema score.
If I spent the money on it,
Exactly.
I will try to convince myself that it was good.
Yeah. So
I did that when MTV made the Shannara
so
series.
yeah. So when they do cinema scores, where they actually have people sitting outside the theater to get people's opinions of it.
Okay.
And do you know what a really low cinema score is? Like if movies
really
get
low?
if
75.
if movies get this cinema score, studios consider it terrible and they don't think it's going to have any legs and it won't make any money.
Okay.
And so what do you, and this they do it by grades, by like in school grades. A B C D E, A B C D F. Like so if you get a B or lower cinema score, they consider your movie dead on arrival. Like you need an A- or higher for it to be considered actually liked by the audience, because what they found is people who spend money on a ticket to go see a movie are very hesitant to say, oh well, it was terrible.
Well,
like,
it's kind of sort of the same thing, and maybe Slender will agree with me on this, as paying for a sub in an MMO. Even if you're not having as much fun as you thought you would, you're still going to play for that month because you spent the money on it.
Oh, yeah. And then that sunk cost fallacy just continues. Like, I played WoW a lot longer than I should have. I was no longer having fun, but I'd put so much work in,
Mm-hmm.
And I had done my weeklies and my dailies for so long, and I
Well,
had
that's the
gotten
other
all
thing
the
too.
cool
Nowadays,
things.
since they also offered something other than the sub, you can just flat out buy 2 months without it reoccurring on you. That's how if I ever go back, that's what I do. Is I'll just buy the 2
But then you
months.
still feel like you got to get your money's worth, or you can play the shit out of it for those
Yes.
2 months.
yeah. So
Actually, not really. There's been times I've paid for 2 months, played for like 1. I was like, you know what, I'm fucking done.
So with Supergirl, it's like a 4.5 as a movie. It's like and honestly, here's the thing: if the cinematography and effects are basically okay, you're starting at like a 3 for me, because it's like, okay, you're better than a sci-fi movie in that regard. But so it only got a 1.5 higher, and that entire 1.5 was Jason Momoa as Lobo. He pulled up. He was the entire extra part of the score over. You competently did your camera turning on when you film this thing. It's bad. it's a terrible Supergirl movie. It's a
When I hear
sci-fi.
people saying the '80s fucking Supergirl movie is better,
It is. It is better because Supergirl is more.
and that was
She's
a canon film, wasn't it?
yes. Well,
Yeah,
no,
so
that I don't think it was a canon one. I think that was another one where it was the Salkins, and they were just cheaping it out.
Because Superman 4 was canon.
Canon was Superman 4, where Canon went to the Salkinds and said, "Hey, we'll rent the rights from you and make this movie." Yeah, and
Soul Assassin, I'd be okay with that though. DC try to make Lobo their version of Deadpool and give him a spin-off? Yes, please.
So, all right, so this Millie Alcock, who's the lead in the movie, terrible, no charisma. Just she's bland.
Listen, she's
and
not a
unlikable.
bad actress, but she was grossly miscast.
Well, here's the thing: she was fine for like she did House of the Dragon,
Yeah.
where she was the young version of Rhaenyra or whatever her name was, and she was okay in that because that character was sullen, and like Supergirl
played to
needs
her
to be
strengths, is what you're
yes,
saying.
yeah, exactly. This one is not, and number two, this movie is not it has nothing to do with Supergirl or Krypton or the lore or any. It's not a Supergirl movie.
Look
they
who
throw
wrote the story that they based it off of, for fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
It's a Tom King story, yeah. And here's
Yeah.
the third thing.
Yeah, I heard that wasn't a popular
Tom
run
King. No,
for-
Tom King is not a good comic book writer. Tom King is a former CIA operative who worked in the global war on terror, who became a comic book writer and proceeded to then emasculate every character he wrote. His most famous run was doing a Batman story where he was building up to Batman and Catwoman getting married. And they pumped this story for months, right? Imp might remember this.
Oh no, I do, because I
Yeah.
know someone who owns a comic book store, and he
And-
was fucking
Yeah, and so
pissed.
so they were pumping this for months. They were doing like invitation to the wedding promotional cards and all that kind of stuff. And I can tell you, I was still in the comic book stores every week picking up my subs back then. It was like people were excited for this because there is a very large portion of the comic community that really likes the matching of Batman and Catwoman, very much like they like Spider-Man and Mary Jane. And then it leaked, I think, 3 issues before it was going to be like issue 50 was when they did the wedding. And I think it was about 3 issues before where the leak came out.
I don't quite.
It was
remember.
enough time. It was enough time.
Yeah.
It was like 2 or 3 months, so it was enough time for people to cancel their
I don't
pre-orders.
even know. I don't think it was. I think it was at most 2 months.
Yeah, it was definitely
At
still
most.
enough. It was still enough where people could go in and say, "Fuck it, I don't want it now."
Yeah.
And because it was past the time when comic book stores had to put their orders in, but it was enough time where comic book stores usually let their customers make alterations.
Yeah.
And what it leaked was that Catwoman was leaving Batman at the altar. She was just no showing on him, and Batman was just taking it like a king cuck. Like, oh, poor poor me. This girl, she doesn't want me anymore. And man, it blew up. Like people canceled the books. I mean, it got people to cancel the Batman subscriptions they had, and Batman was right next to Amazing Spider-Man, where people would have it on their sub box orders and just always collect it. I think
Whether it was good or bad.
Yeah, so
just,
Imp,
they would
if you
still just keep going. With
yeah,
it.
you can confirm it. That one and Amazing Spider-Man were the two where when I talked to comic shop owners, people always put it on their sub
Oh
list,
yeah.
whether
The
it was good or bad.
The X-Men used to be like that up until a certain point, and then people just had enough of it.
Yeah,
Because for a
so
long time, it was X-Men, Spider-Man, and Batman were the 3 consistent mainstays. And X-Men fell right the fuck off.
just as and Josh is saying, I didn't think DC was going to let Batman get married to Catwoman because they want to maintain the status quo. This is where the comic people are silly. Like the most popular run that Batman had in the last probably 15 years, 20, I guess it might even be close to like 20 by now, was when they killed off Batman and they had Dick Grayson take over with...
Oh, after the end of Final Crisis.
Yeah, after the end of Final
When they
Crisis.
did like the battle for the cowl
Yeah.
and all that.
They had, Darkseid Omega being Batman, and then Dick Grayson took over as Batman with Damian Wayne as his Robin, and it was super popular. Like
It was
people
actually well done too.
because it was well written. It was by Grant Morrison, who's actually a talented comic book writer.
When he wants to be.
Well, that's true for every comic writer. Like
It is, but when Grant Morrison's bad, he's really bad.
But when
he's one of
Grant
those
Morrison-
writers that there's no middle ground with him. He's either really, really good or just really, really bad.
So for me, he's knocked characters out of the park twice for DC. One was All-Star Superman. That was Grant Morrison, I believe. Right?
Maybe?
Was All-Star...
Yeah, I was going to say, I couldn't tell you. I'm not the comic guy.
But I will say this. Would you believe I am actually looking forward to an American cartoon?
What
Really?
cartoon
Which
is
one?
that?
Gennady Tartakovsky doing
Oh,
Conan the
yeah,
Barbarian.
Conan. That'll be awesome. It's going to be like what he did with Samurai Jack, but full rated R. That last season of Samurai Jack, when it was on Adult Swim,
Was
It-
dark.
it-
was so...
It pushed the line.
It was so dark, and that end. I was, I'm not used to being emotionally impacted by like a cartoon, but when it turned out that the girl he was with was, one of his daughter, and since he erased the time thing, like she didn't exist anymore, I was like, fuck, that hurts, man. I wanted Jack to actually have
My
a
heart.
happy ending.
Why would you do this to my heart?
What are these salty discharges coming out of my eyes? Yeah, so I'm looking. Yeah, you're right. And I saw that news and it looked really good. But Supergirl, all right. So Lobo, Jason Momoa is having a great time playing Lobo. He looks the part. I think they'd put him in a kind of a rubbery suit, kind of for his body. It's fine. He looks just like Lobo. He's Lobo right out of the comics. His attitude is Lobo. He kills people the way Lobo would. But it's he's the only really in terms of on brand, on character DC universe, he's he's good. But the movie's shit. You know what the other thing is? Hey, 70s, thanks for
Hi.
coming.
Hello.
The villain in this movie is some like random European actor of no notoriety that I have no idea who it is, has no screen presence, does not project menace. And in a superhero movie, you need your villain to have some kind of gravitas.
Yeah, the hero's only as good as the villain.
And this villain is like, I told my wife, this guy is sci-fi original movie level villain. And it's bad.
Belgian
really-
actor.
Yeah,
Matthias Schoenaerts.
Well, maybe he's great in Belgium, but
He
he's
was
definitely...
good in one movie that I've seen. Which
Think
is
about what you just said.
It was a
Chad.
movie called The Mustang. He was really good in that. Which is
Well,
about-
I'm saying, but he's not good in this.
no,
Something
no.
good in Belgium.
Chocolate?
Chocolate's all right.
But chocolate and beer. That's about
We
it.
make better chocolate in America.
I will.
Fuck Belgium's
JCVD,
chocolate.
I believe, is from Belgium, right? He's the
That's
muscles
right.
from Brussels.
He's pretty damn good.
You can't tell me that wasn't good coming out of. And then we got Highlander. He's Belgium, right?
No, he was French. He was actually French.
He's
wasn't
actually
he?
French.
Wasn't he?
That does, 70s. That doesn't make it better.
I thought he was.
That
from
makes it
Belgium.
worse.
Yeah.
Isn't he from
Yeah.
Belgium?
Yeah, I think he
I don't
actually
know.
might be Belgian.
Does he know the German word for surrender?
No, I believe the term would be "I give up."
I give up. No, he's French. Lambert. Christophe Guy Denis Lambert. He's also a US
French
citizen now.
American.
He's a
Oh,
US
well,
citizen now.
yeah. At least he went the extra mile.
He's age 69.
He's actually born in New York.
He was. And he used to be married
A
to
French
Diane Lane.
diplomat to the United Nations. Okay, so that's... Well, that could... Well, whether he's an American citizen from that could change shortly. We'll see probably next week on that one, but that's a bullpen topic. Highly avoid this movie, Supergirl. Terrible. Not good.
Bag of shite.
Hey, Slender. You know what this means? We actually have a movie we can say Chad did Glaze.
Oh, Imp wasn't here for Disclosure Day.
Yeah, he's
Okay, so we have two on the list.
I
now.
think I'm starting to rub off on him. He's been getting real critical lately.
All right, so
You've
Shifty.
worn him down.
David Cornsweet is in this movie for a total of about 2 minutes, and he's doing exactly what he did in the James Gunn movie, but it doesn't matter really. It's not. He doesn't participate in any of the fighting or any of the plot. It's flashbacks, and it's just very brief snippets of him as Superman. So it's kind of inconsequential. It's almost, if everybody remembers the 1984 one where Helen Slater had the Christopher Reeve Superman poster in her room, and she just like talks about him to it's not much above that level because he's not really. I mean, he's again. They keep the lore about her being from Kandor, or Argos, or so she's from Argos, which is a city on Krypton. By the way, Supergirl's origins are very convoluted. They change it every iteration, every crisis, where she's actually from. But I would say that the way they do that is kind of weird. They double down, by the way, on Kal-El being sent to Earth to get a harem of bitches and take over the planet. Like, do you remember that part, Slender, from the Superman movie?
Yeah, the part we both kind of agreed was the dumbest
terrible.
Part of the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, they have a line where Kara's parents, which is Zor-El and his wife, they're on Krypton as it's having the issues, and they see the escape pod getting launched, and Zor-El goes, "Oh, there goes Kal-El," and the wife says, "Oh, are they really sending him to that planet to be a conqueror? Did they actually do that?" And so there's no more ambiguity. There's like that whole thing where like we were thinking James Gunn that maybe it was Lex Luthor,
No, they
possibly.
didn't
Nope.
No.
They doubled straight down, and Jor-El and Laurel were sending Kal-El to Earth to get himself a harem and take over the world.
Of course.
They're basically going with which is the plot of Invincible, not Superman.
It's also the plot of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, James
They
Gunn,
stole that
Superman
shit straight from Goku.
Yeah, so, yeah, Melissa Benoist would have been a much better fit for the personality of Kara Zor-El. The show that was another one where it was just a function of the writing and the budget were never.
Well, the thing
up
is,
to par.
too, is Supergirl, while she has been moody at times in comics or the animated shows, it's not like it's some sort of like existential dread. A lot of the times it's just shit that teenagers go through.
My favorite iteration of Supergirl was the Bruce Timm Superman, the animated series, going into Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
That was, to me, and maybe it might be a function of me being in my teens and 20s in that era, seemed like the best of all amalgamation of Supergirl
all
as a
the
character.
characters were that.
Yeah, again,
There
because
an amalgamation of multiple different versions, and it almost always worked.
Yeah, and Imp is probably the only one else on the panel who knows that Supergirl has about 17 origins.
Yeah.
And they get more. There's one where after the crisis on the Infinite Earth, she was an alien shapeshifter.
She died in Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, and the way they brought Supergirl back was the shapeshifter, and then they were like, "This is stupid. We're gonna bring the real Supergirl back." Yeah, animated by the way.
Killed Barry Allen.
Yep, and that was another one where the status quo doesn't necessarily always have to be the same, because shaking things up with Barry Allen sacrificing himself during Crisis and having Wally West take over for him ended up being really good for the Flash as a story. The Flash was
Wally West was actually a more popular Flash than Barry Allen was.
And I think a lot of it is because when you do the character takeover, you have to have one where people buy into it. Like, so Wally West taking over as Flash or Dick Grayson taking over as Batman works. When you have, the Falcon take over as Captain America, it doesn't. People don't buy into that. But who the audience, comic buyers did like taking over as Captain America? Bucky. When Bucky took over after Captain America was killed in the wake of Civil War, Brubaker, that was a great run. It also had a great writer. Ed Brubaker, probably the best Captain America writer in the last 40 years, for actually writing good Captain America stories. But audiences like that. They like when the character, you got to get the core of what the character is. Tom King was the wrong one to base your story on. Why did they go with Supergirl? This seems really stupid to me. Like you're relaunch, James Gunn is relaunching the DC universe. Your first movie is Superman. It doesn't necessarily make giant oodles of money, but it was decently well received as a starting point to try to get better. To me, it's the Batman Begins scenario. You've got to do a lot of heavy lifting to get the audience to kind of give you that goodwill again.
And people did give Batman Beyond the goodwill.
Yeah, and then your next
Jeremiah, I'd answer your question, but I have no idea what in the hell you're saying.
And please answer me. At what level do you work for saying how do you get people to give you the results you can give?
Punctuation.
Yeah.
Commas, punctuation, grammar, the whole lot of it.
Give us a clue.
Yeah.
I think he's implying that you're some kind of a crossroads demon who makes deals for souls. I'm not sure.
No. I'm just getting a head start on corruption because if hell exists and I end up there, first thing I'm doing when I get there, instead of going, "Oh God, I'm in hell," is going, "Can I have a job application?"
Yeah.
Just getting the some stuff ahead of time.
Just getting those ducks in a
I'm
row.
assuming that you're. Well, I know you're a white man, and I'm assuming you're straight. So you're a straight white man. You'll never get a job even in hell. I'm sorry.
It's true. Their DEI is the worst.
Well, they invented DEI. So that's,
Yeah, but when you have a record like mine, it kind of speaks for itself.
you don't get rewarded for merit in hell.
You don't know how the 9 hells work, then, do you, buddy?
I've seen a few movies.
So anyway, yeah, the making your second movie that goes to full theatrical release be Supergirl is ass backwards retarded.
It was a choice.
It's retarded.
It was a choice.
I think
really
I said
stupid.
to you a couple of months ago, I'm like, why are they going like you've still got like the entire A team bench, and you're going right past the B team to the C team? Like,
no. To be fair, I would put Supergirl into the B squad.
Let's say the
B
B
squad. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
she's got enough popularity
she's-
and enough of a known presence in the DCU that she would be. And let's go with power level too. She's a
Alcock's got a B. She's got a B cup for a B tier character.
I knew of her existence, but like,
She's had some pretty integral story arcs.
I mean,
Her
So
dying.
I'd have
let's put it this
loved a good Green Arrow movie over a Supergirl movie.
Actually-
not in this day and age. Do not give Hollywood that fucking idea.
No,
Because
here's where
will probably
Slender.
back me up on this. They're
But
going to go with a
here's-
certain version of Oliver Queen that no.
Here's what I would say to support Slender's point. You could do a very good street level hero Green.
Oh, I'm not saying that
Green Arrow.
No,
for like
I agree
$50
with
million
that.
dollars and probably make money. Like,
Right.
here's
But
where
you
DC
know
is
as
being
well as
silly.
I
like,
do, they're going to go with the full commie version of Oliver Queen.
Yeah. So what they should have done, if they're making a Supergirl movie, you gotta basically look at it like you're making Blade in 1998. It's a fun character. It can have good stories as a character, but what you're doing is you set that budget at reasonable. This movie was a 186 quote unquote after tax credits $1 million budgeted movie. For this, I like the Supergirl.
That's a big budget for a movie that doesn't even have a track record behind its character.
Yeah, Supergirl should never
I'm
get
sorry,
a budget more
James
than
Gunn
like
is also not a
60 million.
good- Good producer, director, whatever the hell he did for this movie. If it's not gonna, he can't seem to do something that isn't ensemble for one. And
Well, here's
two, it's
what's
like,
interesting.
really, you're really gonna give multi-million-dollar projects to a guy who's best known for doing shit for fucking, God, what the hell, Trauma Video? Really?
I mean, I feel like
Really?
at this point, Guardians of the Galaxy is his most famous thing, and he delivered with that. He did make money with that.
But he can't seem to do anything other than that. no matter
Well,
what he does.
well,
I've
he
seen a
has
few people say
Taika.
this
Both good points.
feels almost feels like a Guardians film. Some people have said.
Well, that's what the point. That's what the problem. He has Taika Waititi syndrome, where he doesn't have someone editing him now to keep him in check. And so he had all that success doing Guardians. And here's the thing, Guardians was diminishing returns. The first one worked really good because it was very different. And also the Guardians of the and the Guardians of the Galaxy were such offbeat, unknown characters. He wasn't working with something where somebody had any, like, nobody. I mean, it even became a joke in the first movie. Who was Star-Lord, right? Nobody knew who Peter Quill and Star-Lord was. He's a blank slate.
A buddy of mine told me they were doing a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I was like, wait, what? Why? Nobody knows who they are. Of course, my brain went right back to the version from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. Now they
rebooted it. I'm like, oh.
They
And
completely
again,
changed.
Nobody knows who they are.
Here's the thing: if you read any of the comic books, they completely changed Peter Quill Star-Lord from what he was, because he did exist for a while, but now that version from the movies is what they've made the comic into. But Gamora is also completely different than what Gamora was
Drax.
before. So is Nebula. So is Drax.
I heard Drax was very different.
So is all the characters are, including Mantis. The only one who probably isn't is
Rocket Raccoon. Yeah, Rocket, and that's
Groot.
because Rocket and Groot were basically one-dimensional kind of characters. Now, I'll say he did a good job giving them a little depth, which is great. But the reason it's a tabula rasa. They were basically blank slate comic characters that were where he could make them and people liked it. But then by the second movie, it started getting a little old, and by the third movie, he was really running out of steam, and he was just finishing, and it was very kind of morose and not fun. And so he kind of finished it and was done. But now he moved on to DC, and you have to have a whole different mindset for Superman. And I don't think he bombed it. I think, again, it was okay as a Batman Begins style start to refresh the character. He should have then moved on to a Batman or somebody who's a major tier character. Now, the other interesting thing, do you know what the next DC movie that's coming out is?
No.
Clayface.
Oh,
Yes,
right.
that's right.
Which looks like a full-on horror movie. Which, by
Body
the way,
horror. Yeah.
I'm going to say it actually looked. The trailer was on the Supergirl movie last night. It didn't look bad as a horror movie style thing. And anybody who knows like Clayface, it is kind of a horrific kind of, like, if you do it, especially
Combination of psychological and body horror.
And I'll tell you this, Imp, they didn't shy away from it like if you remember from the Batman animated series, which is probably where he's most well known
I'd say
to
so.
people. They actually have him in the full thing where he's like, he doesn't even have eyelids anymore after the accident and all that kind of stuff. You can see the wrap looks straight up Darkman. Like, they're not pulling punches, but at the same time, why the fuck is Clayface your third movie?
Yeah, how is this feeding into a broader narrative? Isn't the whole goal to eventually start crossing over and making the bigger?
Well, and then
DC universe?
They're finally making a sequel to The Batman, the one with Robert Pattinson. And that's going to still be completely unrelated to the other part of the DC universe.
Well, that wouldn't be the first time they did that, because they did that recently with the books themselves. They did this whole big brand new reboot.
I know some
What is it,
people
absolute Batman?
No, not absolute. I think it was when they started doing like the New 52 a few years back.
New 52 was like 14 years ago now.
Listen, I know some people liked the Robert Pattinson Batman, but it smacked of trying to follow that Joker style. And Robert Pattinson just he doesn't do it for me. He's not fucking Batman.
I'm Batman.
But as I was saying, with the New 52,
He could be like Batboy, Nightwing.
They rebooted the entirety of the DC universe except for Batman and Superman's books.
I think this comment.
He'd make a great Damian Wayne.
This comment is like perfectly. Most are speculating Gunn will be gone after Man of Tomorrow, which they're shooting now.
Before that, I think.
I think they're going to let him finish shooting it, and they'll probably release it. But Paramount as soon as, by the way, it just cleared U.S. Antitrust approval, and I think Europe is apparently given a conditional approval for Paramount to finish buying Warner Brothers. As soon as that officially closes, I think James Gunn is officially fired. And I think Nerdrotic put a post out where he's like, it's going to be just like they did to Henry Cavill. It's like, you're not fired, but we're not letting you do anything anymore.
Yeah.
So they're not going to even let him going to make Man of Tomorrow or whatever it is. Or?
No, Man of Tomorrow is already shooting, so
Okay, right.
that'll
You're not
finish.
fired, but we have no intention of using you in any of our movies ever again.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, Chad, you might actually get this reference. Creative has nothing for you.
Because they don't recognize you because you're not creative.
No.
Chad's probably the only person on this panel who get that joke.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar,
It's
but
a
I
wrestling
don't get
thing.
it.
Yep.
It's a a lot of
okay.
guys got cut
Yeah.
from WWE or WCW back in the day, whatever. And being told, sorry, man, creative just doesn't have anything for you.
Which is code for Vince doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Well, Vince is a very, very arrogant person.
I mean,
Yeah, but if you actually talk to people who've worked there for a long time that saw like all sides of him, there are people out there who worked in that company who will talk shit about him, but also have an equal amount of good shit. Like there's
Funny-
stories of him back in like the 80s as just a fucking madman, going out with the boys to a bar, getting drunk with the wrestlers, and then having them all hit their finishing moves on him in a fucking bar, including the Road Warriors.
Yep. Eric got it. Look at this. That was a reference. Vince Russo, WWE reference. Yeah. Yeah. It's Vince McMahon. Who was it? Is it Mark Henry who had actually
Yeah.
positive things to say? Like Vince, like let me go take care of my family.
Yeah, his mom died. Vince
Yep.
is like, look, I know your mom's really important to you. Go. Come back when you're ready. A lot of people have said that, when it comes to shit like that, he's actually pretty good.
Which is where it always seemed really silly when they tried to paint Vince as like a racist or something. It was like, no, I think you're being a little silly. Like Vince, he had a lot of positive relationships with a lot of wrestlers of whatever ancestry you wanted to talk about. Like,
I mean, I've heard a lot of good things from the wrestlers, and when I say arrogant, like I don't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. Trump's pretty arrogant too.
Consider he is arrogant, and it also had turned into a problem.
Yeah.
well, here's the conspiracy theory truth, allegedly, in my opinion, of what happened. It's no coincidence to me that as soon as WME finalized the purchase of WWE and they took it private, that within a couple months all that shit came out against Vince and they got rid of him.
Traded, I think.
Yeah.
Or did they take it private?
Well, no, they took it private, and then they were merging it with UFC, and they were making it a company that was going to go public again, as basically a wombo combo of like entertainment sports, combat sports. And before they were taking it public, they got Vince gone. And the way they got Vince gone so that he wouldn't be there anymore and they would have total control over everything was by, because it was the height of the Me Too stuff.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
really. It was
and-
only like 3 years ago.
No, it wasn't longer.
No, it's only been a couple of years. That whole
And
pretty
that's all
sure
it
it was-
takes, really. It's just you don't even have to go to court. The allegations alone are enough.
He was fired in.
I think it was like
resigned.
2023.
It was 24, yeah. All right, so
24.
well, it's the most effective way to get him gone.
Yep.
Yeah, so they got him gone, and then bam, and that was like within a few weeks of him being gone and not being part of it and not having any money and like being able to take part of any of that, they signed their deals with Netflix. They went like they were doing all this stuff, and he missed out on like billions of dollars.
Yeah, and it's starting to bite them in the ass now.
Well, yeah, that I don't know if Netflix is as happy with what they got signed. Nobody's
No.
been happy with what they, and the problem with it, not to get into a wrestling discussion, but we are. The WWE is just too big with no competition. I know AEW's out there, but it's still not.
It's not competition.
It's not really competition, and so the roster on the WWE is too big. the writers on the WWE can't handle that size roster and give people enough.
Well,
You
no,
know,
they can't.
storylines.
Here's the problem.
Zombie, I don't know. Did he? Did he do all those things?
He kind of basically admitted he did, but
Yeah.
allegedly, she was a willing participant until she
Until she decided she no
until
longer
she
was.
decided to try to file the complaints against him.
See,
Like a
that's the
lot of
other
the-
thing. Like, what's the context? Like,
Yeah.
yes, he did all those things, but if she was a willing participant, I mean, two consenting adults doing things, I don't see the problem. And,
Because that's something. No matter what you hear about the wrestling industry, I can't think of any of the female wrestlers, commentators, announcers, etc., have ever come out and said Vince was a creep.
and this is the problem we get into when
They've said other
women
people in
use
the
that
industry
in
are.
transactional fashion to try and get ahead, and then they use it in this way to try and destroy their you just got to get the sex out of Hollywood. I'm sorry. You just it's always just bad. It's just bad.
By the way, that was another. If you want to know how off the rails Supergirl was, this is supposed to be a family superhero movie. I guess maybe.
Nothing about that looked family friendly.
No, there's a spot there is a part in that movie where she's talking with the little girl who's trying to get her to help hunt down the bad guys, and she is, I shit you not, with the door open, taking a piss in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, and you're seeing, like, you see, you don't see her doing it, but you see her sitting on the toilet with the pants pulled down. And it's just like, this is not something that should ever be. And I'm not somebody who's like, oh,
So that's what
it's
James
good.
Gunn is into, huh?
Yeah, apparently I just in that scene I made a mental note, like, this is not, why is this in allegedly a 4-quadrant summer superhero movie? Like, ever, no. Like, yeah, yep, that's a James Gunn movie. Yeah, it was like, I think that somebody's into that shit apparently, and that's what they wanted on
I
screen.
mean, he did do work for Trauma.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. So, avoid that at all costs. Not even, I wouldn't even say that it's worth watching on streaming. It's just skip it. It's
You cannot get that time back.
no. And
Just patiently wait for the Conan the Barbarian show.
yeah, that one will be
That's
good.
going to be solid because he's already essentially did off-brand Conan with Primal.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked, and it's weird to say, I even liked his work when he did Hotel Transylvania. I thought that was a pretty fun kids movie.
He worked on that?
Yeah, that's his. That all three of them, he did them because he had to get paid. That's how he got.
Well, it also
paid
doesn't
for-
look like his art style, so
Yeah, I mean, he's he was going like full 3D animation style, but
no, I even enjoyed Dexter's Lab for what it was.
I love Dexter's Lab.
It's so good.
Didi, get out of my laboratory.
Yep. All right. Let's see. So now with now being prepped, we'll go to our next gaming news. Xbox, after seeing, and it's no coincidence, the Steam Machine price drops.
Yep.
And that is and then PS5 raises their prices. Nintendo had already raised their price. So Xbox at this point decides, after the Steam Machine is coming in at that gigantic price point, they're like, fuck it, we're going to raise our price point to like $7.99. Man, I'm even happier that Verizon gave me one of those things for free.
So that I got mine when it pretty much first came out.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
normal
So-
retail.
So they're discontinuing the 2 terabyte model, but that disk drive model now is $7.99.
That's
It's
worth
gonna
more
be-
than precious metals.
I've seen some
Jesus.
really retarded takes as far as the Steam Machine goes. Like, oh, why don't they just sell us a bare bones one? We could put our own components in it. Hey, jackass, you're
That's
going
a
to be spending
computer.
more
Just build
for
your
RAM than they are.
And I said this. No, this is my
Because they're buying
conspiracy.
it at a scale.
My conspiracy theory, and I said it months and months ago, and I think Slender might be coming around to it. was that the other, like the PlayStations and the Xboxes and the bigger boys in the market, were also using their weight to make sure that any contracts Steam was trying to get for their hardware were going to be the maximum price
Well,
point
one of their
possible.
engineers came out and said on record that the RAM suppliers would come to them and say, "This is the price." If they said no, they didn't come back.
Yeah. Well, and the
The
RAM
RAM manu-
suppliers would specifically be like, we have this many at this price right now. Yes or no? No? Okay.
Yeah, the RAM suppliers were essentially strong-arming the prices. Like, oh, you need RAM? Well, this is what we're selling. Oh, you don't want to pay that much? Too bad. And think about it. They were buying it in scale.
And I'm not going to give, like... I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna give Xbox a pass. I don't give anybody else a pass on this, but this is technically the second time in the last year that Xbox has raised the price. Because in October last year, they raised the prices by $20 to $70 across the U.S. And all through early 2025, they've been making adjustments in several markets and regions. So they've been doing lots of fucking price play too. They've just been a little more on the DL about it.
And I've seen people also turn around like, oh, it's just Steam being greedy like they always are. It's like, no, asshole. When I'm looking and seeing a 32 gig set of RAM for $1,000, yeah, it's Valve.
Yeah, I don't think Steam's being greedy. I still am calling this one a mistake. And I know it's not their business model to absorb that loss. They never have.
Well, here's the
That's
thing.
never been a thing. But honestly, with the condition of the market right now, if you can't sell it for less than $1,000, then you should have just not
Held off a bit
sold
more.
it. just
Well,
don't sell it.
I mean, because that's the thing, though, is all the other companies like Sony and Microsoft, Nintendo, even Sega back in the day, were willing to eat the loss on hardware
Yep.
because they made it back in software.
Mm-hmm.
Valve doesn't make as much as people think they do. They make
Well-
a shitload, but not enough to subsidize hardware.
So no, they do.
They
make-
could
They
subsidize
could.
the
They
hardware.
could. Because Slender and I even talked about this. Was one of our chats during the week. Valve is one of the few, because their online marketplace is the only one that's really successful in gaming, PC
Yep.
gaming. That they, if
and,
they
and
chose
selling that
to,
at a good price could have brought in a whole bunch more people to their digital storefront.
I believe that they. I haven't looked at the the people who break down and do the component price. I'm assuming that they're probably making about $300 profit is what's built into the price points that they're selling it at. So if they
I don't
wanted,
think so with the, what is it, a single or 2 terabyte Slender? It's 512, and then there's one above that.
I can't remember if it's a single or 2 terabyte. I think it's a 2 terabyte.
Because here's the other thing, too, Chad. RAM isn't the only thing that's fucking pricey.
no, but I'm
check.
still telling you, I think if you like, even with as bad as the prices have gotten, because I know Slender just looked at pricing out a PC build too. I think they're still probably making around 300 when you factor in what they are probably getting their RAM and hard drives at
Because
for
the hard
their.
drives have gotten insane.
I don't think I'm gonna disagree. I think they're probably making 150 to 200 per unit. That being said, they last month when they raised the price of the Steam Deck by absurd amounts.
Yeah.
Specifically because I think they were preempting this. They knew the price of the Steam machine, and they realized if we're selling the Steam machine at this price, and we're selling a 1 terabyte Steam Deck with an OLED Steam Deck too, like a high-end 1 terabyte Steam Deck for $650, we're just going to create a run on the Steam Decks, and it'll empty out the warehouse. All the Steam machines are just going to sit there collecting dust. So.
Yeah.
So they're probably only making 150, 200 per unit off the Steam machine, but they're probably making 400 or 500 per unit off the Steam Deck because they've had those assembled. Those were done before the prices started going through the roof.
Yeah. I mean, A friend of mine got lucky because he got a pre-built PC around the holidays, and he got a pretty okay deal. The only complaint I have on it, as someone who's going to be doing any work on it for him, there's no spaces for hard drives.
Yeah.
It comes with one, M2 drive, and that's it. There's no spacing in the case to slot even a solid state. I was like, okay, these people need to knock this shit right the fuck off.
Yeah. To give you a comparison, since I did just recently do this, right? Bride needed a new computer. We did not have the funding to build one fresh. We did not have the funding to buy a whole pre-made. So I found a pretty stripped down model with integrated graphics, but it had all the core things that it needed. It had a good CPU. It had It had good RAM, a terabyte of storage, etc., etc., etc. I got that pre-built for $589.
It's not bad.
I
That's pretty good.
upgraded the power supply for another $89 from a
That's about right.
550 watt to a 750 watt.
That's about right.
And I dropped my previous graphics card, the Asus
think it's
ATI Radeon 5700.
Yeah, it was the same one I had. I just had the XT version. I think
The
you had
RX
normal.
5700, the overclocked model, the factory overclocked model. So pretty much the best 5700 money could buy at the time. So if you even take that at original price, I think I spent about $300, $350 on that. If you take that and add it to the $650 that I've already spent, you're still coming in less than the Steam machine. And in all honesty, it's got almost better specs across the board and would outperform the Steam machine on most games.
Well, here's the thing, too, and people have brought this up. The whole thing behind the Steam machine isn't for people like us.
No.
It's meant for the people who are used to a console dipping their toes into PC gaming.
Yeah, it could have opened the door to an entirely new market demographic.
Because I have a buddy of mine who's still of the belief from, 15, 20 years ago that,
PCs are too hard.
No, it's not even that they're too hard. It's like, you guys are always upgrading shit. No, we're not. Yeah, need another friend of mine. I'm like, dude, I'm set now with my PC for 10 years at least.
Dude. A year ago, I saw the writing on the wall and future-proofed. I should not have to upgrade anything until 2030. I'll tell you what, most of the people who own a PS5 or whatever Xbox they're on right now, they'll have to get a new console by then.
Because here's the other thing.
Here's the thing, not because the hardware in that console is out. It's because they will force the replacement of it.
After what happened going from the Xbox One to the Xbox Series and the PS4 to the PS5, where they were trying to be like, oh no, you got to make the game for both systems. I don't think they're going to do that again.
No.
It's going to be, you want to play this? Buy the new console, fucker.
The PS5 came out in 2021, 2020.
Yeah.
I've been a PlayStation guy since the first one, and I have not even sniffed any interest in the PS5. I've still got a PS4 that works
I'll admit,
fine.
I was a retard and bought one for one game. Slender knows which one it is, too.
Bloodborne? Or the remake of Demon Souls.
Yeah, the Demon Souls remaster.
Yeah.
And I still, so we're 5-6 years, no, look at this, October 2020, we're almost 6 years in to the PS5 life cycle, and I still haven't seen
of breaks
a game.
with the fact that they decided to release it when COVID happened.
If anything, that should have made it more popular.
Yeah.
It would have if the supply lines weren't foobarred.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah. Now,
I mean, because that even affected my hobby of, building Gunpla. Like, no joke. There were model shops that literally, if you go through like the one grade of kits, they're like, yep, same 15 they've had for the past 6 months. Nothing was being done. Companies weren't producing shit because they couldn't ship it.
That affected my hobby of being employed.
Well, hey, that'll happen. Didn't affect mine, unfortunately.
I got an exception, a religious exception. And then a month later, they were like, your performance is terrible. You're fired. I was like, what?
Never have I related to a comment made in our chat as much as this from Shifty. I took all the money I saved for a PS5 and I blew it on action figures.
Yeah.
I got like so many classified and Transformers that instead of buying a PS5. I agree with that comment. But man, I have not had like there's no game like this generation of new consoles has nothing that really pushes you to do it.
No, they don't.
Nintendo relies on their exclusives, and they're hoping
And nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie and say that they don't make good games that I enjoy playing, but I have a Switch, and I don't. God knows how old the Switch is now. I haven't looked it up, but I've got.
Probably
There's
about
nothing.
10 years.
There's nothing that they're releasing for the Switch 2 that I can't. Like that is pushing me to do it. There's not like I've had that Xbox Series X from that I got for
and
free.
Nintendo
and-
tried to lead the charge on the price,
Yeah.
the price increase on games, and I'm. It's been
Well, yeah,
bad.
that was the
It's
other.
been a terrible week.
That's our other. It was officially announced that GTA is going to do their $80 price.
Yeah,
point
remember when they swore
Just-
they weren't gonna do that?
just for the single. And this is where they're
Fuck
being.
you, Take-Two, and fuck you, Rockstar.
This is where they're being, cute, too cute by half about the single player experience. They're selling a $100 edition. They are putting paywalls up in your fucking.
Yeah, not only is it a
in your
$100 edition, but it's not like, oh well, the $100 version comes with some perks and you get some in-game bucks or some stuff like that. They're like, no, motherfucker, we have blocked entire stores and quest lines behind that $20 paywall. So we carved off 10% of the end game. Get fucked if you don't want to spend $100.
Oh, I found something else out earlier. So if you pre-order GTA 6, they give you a free month of GTA Plus, whatever the fuck it is.
Eric Myers, the CEO, had went on record and said they had no intention of charging more than the normal market prices for their game. The banks and the investors and Wall Street told them they need to set the price at $100 because they want video games across the board to cost $100 now. The investors want more of your fucking money, and they're not getting enough of it. So,
I mean, never
And it's
believe what a
$100 more.
never believe what a CEO of a video game publisher says, because I'll quote the
no,
asshole.
I did
I'll
not
quote
believe
the
him.
asshole from Gearbox. Oh, don't expect to see Borderlands 4 on sale anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, I did not believe him, but he did say it.
But this is $100. You're going to have to pay the $100 to get the game. 80 is
No.
going to give you less of a game. So
And
100 is the new
As
price.
I was saying, so supposedly if you pre-order, they give you a month of GTA Plus, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah, I
But
don't
it's not just a
fucking
month.
care.
They gave you a subscription with the renewal automatically turned on.
Yeah.
So when you go to claim that month, they're going to ask you for a credit card or a bank account, which always happens when you get like a free month of a subscription. But they don't tell you that they have the auto renew turned on.
But as I described it unto Chad, the precedent is set now. Pretty much every game that comes out is going to try and start at 80. They're all going to try and do it now. The Thanos snap has happened.
I agree with something
Rockstar
that
is Thanos. Thanos has snapped. 50% of game devs are going to cease to exist
And most people will pay 100 for this, though.
because layoffs are going to be a coming.
I agree with what Legendary Drop said. He goes, as much as I don't like it, I can see Rockstar charging 80 for GTA 6. That aside, when the other companies try to do it, they're going to get dumpstered.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. We haven't even seen gameplay of this yet. And I will remind everyone was like, yeah, but CD Projekt Red is a great studio and they make great games and Cyberpunk 2077 is definitely going to be awesome. So yes, I'm going to pre-order it.
Yeah.
How'd that work out? Just because a studio has made a good game doesn't mean they can't make a shit game.
And as much as me, Slender, and Brahma like to talk up FromSoft, if they put out a bad game, we would definitely be pissed about it.
Yeah, like
We're not going to sit there and go, well, it's FromSoft and this and that. No, if they fuck up,
And I'm sorry. I like Legendary Drops a lot. I think he has a lot of good insight. I
Kinda
enjoy
shit
his
taste in music.
videos. But dude, you constantly say games are too expensive, and then in your own fucking videos you're like, "But I really want to play it, so I'm going to buy it anyway." All right, here's what it boils down to.
self-discipline.
If you will not stand on principle, then you have no willpower and you deserve your AAA overlords. Like, bad behavior has never stopped by saying, I don't like that you're doing this, while you turn around and drop your pants.
Case in point, I really wanted Neo 3 when it came out. Didn't buy it.
Yeah.
I only bought it when I got it on sale for $50. Still a bit more than I usually pay for a game, but I liked the first 2 games. I played a bit of the third one. I felt it was worth the money. If I'm going to spend more than 20... Fine, let's put it this way. How many of the games that you, me, and Smokey have talked about checking out, or just you and me checking out, have ever really been more than 15 to 20 bucks?
20 bucks, 30 if it's a really good looking game.
Yeah.
That's about as high as we usually go. I mean...
Or if we are
with-
going to
with
get
the
something that's like
exception-
40, 50 bucks on Steam, it's like, oh, here's the key from CD Keys, and go get it for $8.
With the exception of Pragmata, which I got, but I did not buy... My kids knew I wanted it, so for my birthday, they all chipped in and got it for me.
So it's like Mad with Madden.
Yeah, but they didn't even tell me it was happening. It just showed up as a gift in my Steam account. Like, hey, and my son acquired it for me, and I guess they all chipped in $10 to get it for me, which is cool. And then Bride, I guess, probably covered the rest, because I was like, but it's 70 and there's only
I think they
5
also
of
might
you.
they could have gotten it on sale, because right around your birthday it hit its first sale of like 55, I think.
Then that's perfect. But like, even
I think.
Elden Ring, which was the game I wanted to play more than anything, when it dropped, I was like, I am not picking it up until it is $50 or less.
Oh,
And I
pre-ordered
had to
it, I
wait
can't lie.
until the I think it was November. I had to wait until fucking November to get the game.
And it came out in like February.
Yeah. But I didn't even have to wait a whole year, and I got it. I got it for
I'm not gonna lie,
$49.99.
I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered Sekiro.
I'm sure, and I wanted to. I wanted to more than anything, but I stood on principle.
But at that, again, like I said, at that point, I trusted FromSoft. So far, out of all the developers out there, and there's a few, mostly indie devs, FromSoft has my trust. They have yet to break it.
I mean, they have mine too, but
I don't.
It's
Regardless
not
of
a matter
trust,
of whether or not I
don't
trust the
pre-order
studio.
ever. Never pre-order.
Never.
I never pre-order anymore, and it's not it's
I
not a
don't
matter of whether or
anymore.
not I trust the studio. It's a matter of whether or not I think games should cost $70, and I don't.
Yeah. Well, I knew I was buying it either
How
way.
much did Claire Obscure cost?
$4.50?
I don't know.
Well,
I played it for
40?
free on Game Pass back
I
before
got it a
Game
lot
Pass started
less.
ripping me
I
off.
think I got it for 40 or less than 40.
I think
I
it
think
was
you got it
40.
for about 30 to 35 at the last
Yeah,
sale.
Their asking price is 50, but you can almost always get it for less than that because it goes on sale every couple of months too.
and CD key sites exist.
I
No,
got it on a site.
This comment is just for Shifty. Did you also pre-order Hooded Cobra Commander with the throne? Because I want to feel like I'm not the only one who did. But we'll just see. Shifty's the only guy in here who probably did. He'll answer that in the chat. But yeah, never pre-order a game. Number one, they don't even finish the games at release anymore. You're
Again,
talking,
if it wasn't a FromSoft game, I wouldn't have. Because they do have my trust, and I'm getting a finished game.
You've
I mean,
made
what
that
it-
point. You've made that point. Let's move on.
I would say to me nowadays it takes about 3 to 4 months for the game from its original release point to finally be in a finished state. It seems like
Every AAA game that comes out needs work. When
Yeah.
when they say that when they go to official release, it almost always needs work. Half of them aren't even finished.
Yeah. And you know what I'm really blaming a lot of these problems we're running into, as far as not just being finished, but like just the sheer bugginess? Unreal Engine 5.
Some of it. I mean, some of it. I've played some Unreal Engine 5 games that run like a fucking dream, though. So
Yeah, and those are coming out of indies, but some of these bigger developers, it's like, really? You can't optimize your fucking code, you lazy fucks?
well,
Not that I
were-
know how to code. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's
yeah.
something easy.
This is also an exception, I will say, because he's Argentum. I pre-ordered Tears of the Kingdom. I have no regrets. Pre-order Extras of Wisdom, and I wouldn't say I regret it, but man, the game's not worth 60. But
Dude, Tears of the Kingdom wasn't as good as Breath of the Wild.
It wasn't.
I didn't pre-order either of them.
No, but here's what I'm going to say. Nintendo is generally one of the ones actually still releasing finished games. Which, I mean, they might have DLC.
To their credit,
their
it's what they
single
have
game
to do because their business model would not allow them to get away with this shit like Microsoft and PlayStation do.
Yeah. They would wholly and rightfully so get crucified.
Because
yeah,
if Sony or PlayStation, or if PlayStation or Xbox has a game that hits and the game is buggy as fuck, they're gonna blame the studio. If Nintendo has a game that hits and the game is buggy as fuck, they're gonna blame Nintendo because it's a fucking Nintendo game.
Yeah. Even if it's, and if anything, it's a second party, and that studio is actually probably owned by Nintendo, like Human or.
If it is a Nintendo exclusive and it is a mess on release, that's gonna kill Nintendo's reputation. And Nintendo already does a lot to fuck up their own reputation.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So Nintendo, and that is one of the only things I'll give them credit for. When it's their like characters like Mario, Zelda, the game is a finished single player game. You might get DLC that you get, but the solo experience is going to be what it is when it drops. That doesn't mean it's necessarily worth the price they're charging, because Nintendo was leading the charge, as Slender said, about raising the price point. That's also, it's different than these other ones where they're like the king of shipping broken games, Ubisoft. I mean, there's
Ubisoft,
nobody who's as good as
Activision,
Ubisoft and
Blizzard.
EA at shipping a game that is broken when it releases.
I do think Ubisoft takes the crown because I loved Assassin's Creed Unity, but it was the buggiest fucking mess on release.
I mean, do you remember the Star Wars Outlaws?
I mean, I didn't like the
bugs?
single player, but I liked the multiplayer in Assassin's Creed Unity. I liked the idea of four
we
people
were,
going on missions together. That was fun.
It was on the show. We were watching the videos of Outlaws in that first week or two of the release, where they had those like crazy, terrible, buggy
Star Wars Outlaw?
Yeah.
Dude, I watched a 14-hour Mauler video about Assassin's Creed Outlaw.
No.
Star Wars
Outlaws.
That's what I meant. Well, same difference?
I like how you
Yeah.
merged them because
He's actually not wrong. And the funny thing is, there could be good Star Wars games made. I was watching a friend of mine. She was playing, and I shudder when I say this, Starfield. But she was using that 100 gigs full conversion Star Wars mod.
The mods, yeah.
Yeah, and it looked fucking awesome. Like it literally, it didn't just like put a layer of Star Wars stuff over the things. No, it literally changed models, textures, everything to make it look like you're in the Star Wars universe.
Just to address real quick this comment, am I literally the only person? You're the only one watching in portrait mode. I can tell from the comment that you're in the portrait mode, which is awesome. That's the one that's phone friendly. But no, there's plenty of people watching in the other version of the stream, which is the landscape version. So either way, we
got
take
like
all
15
comers.
people watching.
Yeah.
Don't feel
It's the usual.
lonely.
Yeah.
Don't
By the
be
way, in
lonely.
the Steam sale, because I see,
But if you are watching in portrait mode, I have a little bit of advice. If you just turn your phone sideways, you can jump in the chat with all the people who aren't in portrait mode.
Davina was talking about how that Jedi Survivor is pretty decent. Jedi Survivor is one of the Steam sale games.
Yeah, you can
this
probably
summer.
get both of them now for like 10 to 15 bucks
Yeah,
total.
so if you
Oh
are
yeah, they
inclined-
are they're bottom.
By the
Yeah,
way,
on
Deep
prices.
sale.
if you're not against EA in all its forms, they do have the Command and Conquer Remastered Collection is only like $3 or $4.
Yeah, that's
That's
nice
a-
to
I
have.
kind of am against EA in all its forms, but I do love Command and Conquer.
But that's such a good
Yeah.
price point for, and it's like it's like Command and Conquer 1, 2, 3, and
No.
I think
No, the remaster is just one in Red Alert 1. They do have a full bundle of every Command and Conquer game they made, but they're
I
not
think-
all remastered.
are those ones the remasters in the bundle?
Just the first Command and Conquer and the first Red Alert.
All right, let's
But,
see.
and I know your hate for EA, Slender, and I'm kind of on the same page with you. But I will, and I hate to say this, but I will give them credit for something. They turned around and did Command and Conquer fans right finally after all these decades.
Command and
the
Conquer. Oh my
The
gosh!
two remasters of the first Command and Conquer and the first Red Alert are fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a graphical overhaul, and you can hit a button and go back to the old graphics, kind of like how Blizzard did with the Diablo 2 remaster.
Okay.
But they then turned around. I think it was actually quite a bit ago. Made all the source code for all the Command and Conquers open, and released it to the public.
Very nice.
And turned around and made Tiberian Sun with his expansion abandonware.
Oh, so they gave it to the people?
Yes.
Okay.
So, as much as I don't like EA as far as what they did for the Command and Conquer fans, okay, yeah, I don't have a problem giving you a few bucks because of them opening the source code as well. And Smokey was here to back me up on this. We can play those
Smokey was
games.
in the chat earlier.
We can turn around and play those games online again.
Okay.
And there's been mods and overhauls and all kinds of shit. And it also includes Dune 2000.
I did like Dune 2000.
So
I've played Ordos.
one of the things that they did, and I guess I can understand why they did this, but at the same time, it's like, really? The game's like 40 years old almost now. If you want the music for Dune 2000, you better own the original CD.
Oh, there's no music?
There's no music, but what it does is it copies it off the CD to your hard drive. Other than that, you get everything else free. There might be some sort of licensing or something where you have to do it like that.
Probably.
When it
The
comes,
I was going to say the Command and Conquer Ultimate Collection.
yes, that's
which-
only got 2 remasters. They didn't go and remaster all the
No,
games.
but it is so for $6.56, you get 17
Yeah.
Command and Conquer. Games.
You get pretty much everything Command and Conquer with all their expansions.
Yeah,
Command
bear
and
in mind though,
Conquer-
some of those Command and Conquers were made by EA and they were absolutely fucking terrible.
Here
Actually,
you
the
go.
only one that I can think of was Command and Conquer 4,
4.
which was terrible. That one
Yes.
was absolutely awful. And then I think
Yep.
it's like the second Generals game.
Yep.
Which
The
are
first
so,
Generals was pretty good. The second Generals was.
It was.
Ugh.
like check out here you go. Here's the list of which ones you get. You
You get everything. You literally get every single thing they've ever made for Command and Conquer in that bundle.
All right, so you're getting Command and Conquer, the Command and Conquer Covert Operations, Red Alert Counter Strike, Red Alert The Aftermath, Tiberian Sun,
Covert Ops was a lot of fun. I actually liked
Tiberian
Covert
Sun,
Ops.
Firestorm, Red Alert 2, Yuri's Revenge, Renegade, General Zero Hour.
Because wasn't Covert Ops the
Tiberian
one where it
Wars,
was like
Kane's
it's
Wrath.
still doing the first Command and Conquer,
Yes.
but it's basically like Mario 2 where it's just like the lost levels almost.
I think it was more of, something like that. It was like levels that didn't make it, so they decided to slap a story to it and release it as an
Yeah,
expansion.
and they were all really challenging missions.
Yeah.
I liked
No,
that one a
if-
lot.
If you like RTSs and you want to go and play an old school, very well done RTS, get that bundle. I'm not going to say otherwise. $6.50
I mean,
for all those
I
games.
am still of the opinion that while Warcraft and Starcraft were fun and good games, I still think Command and Conquer is really what kicked off the RTS.
It was. It was the
well,
boom.
StarCraft
in the
came out
90s.
after.
Yeah, StarCraft and Warcraft came out after. Command
Yep.
and Conquer was the first one. That
Now
was
the difference
to be,
was,
to be called an RTS as we know it today.
yeah,
Well,
StarCraft.
it kicked off that format. Like it made
Yes.
that a genre.
the
It
top
did.
down real time strategy format, like that was the and like if you look at all Command and Conquer basically pioneered all the resource farming, top down unit,
Mhm.
like,
Base building.
and usually 2 to 3, in Command and Conquer it was 2. It was StarCraft, I think, was the one where they moved it to having 3
Yes.
client,
StarCraft had the Protoss,
Protoss,
the Zerg, and the Terrans.
And
humans,
humans,
and Terrans. Which, by the way, real fun. I love the fact that they basically took the captain from Macross / Robotech, depending on Harmony Gold, suing you into oblivion if you live in the U.S., and made him the captain of your Star Cruisers. Like,
Well, the funny thing is, you know what StarCraft was originally supposed to be, right?
what's that?
Same with Warcraft. They were originally supposed to be Warhammer games.
Well, that would
Because-
explain.
I mean, the
Look-
Zerg are very much like the the Chaos?
No, the Tyranids.
The Tyranids, that's what it
And
is.
the
I've
Terran-
only played once.
Because the Terrans do kind of look a little Space Marine.
Ooh, this is a good
They,
question.
they are totally Space Marines. What the fuck are you
And
talking
then if
about?
you
Oh.
look at Warhammer, orcs versus humans,
Here's a question. All right, Imp.
Mm.
Was the Dune RTS before Command and Conquer? Because that was, I feel like it was after, but it might have been before.
I don't know. I'll
I
have to
think
look
it
that
was
up.
before.
I think the
Yeah.
one
I
that just
played the Dune RTS before I ever played Command and Conquer.
Because the Dune RTS is shockingly also one of the major pioneers of the RTS format.
Yes, it
Like,
is.
So
Let me see
it,
here, let's
it
see
may have
here.
just been a little less capable because Command and Conquer was
Okay. So Dune 2 came out in 1992. Is often considered to be the first mainstream modern real-time strategy game. So I'm thinking it did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did, but like I still think Command and Conquer is what cemented the genre and kicked off the
Yes,
rise.
it was 3 years before the first Command and Conquer.
Yeah, because I remember Command and Conquer was the first one that was I don't want to say, I guess accessible is the word I'm looking for, which is
I wouldn't even say it was
Mainstream. It was the
Yeah.
first one that was mainstream.
an average gamer could grasp the concept and play
they
that
could
one.
with Dune 2 as well, because it was
Yeah.
essentially Command and Conquer, same with Dune 2000.
Yeah, but it never
Yeah.
made it mainstream. I don't.
No,
think.
but
Like-
here's the thing.
Bush taking
it
the victory
was-
lap.
If you didn't know about Dune in the 90s, you wouldn't care.
I
Man,
didn't
it
know
could-
about Dune in the '90s, but then I played that game and I was like, "This is fucking awesome."
I mean, I knew of Dune and I'd seen the 80s movie, but that's where it ended.
I had no prior knowledge. The game just looked cool, so I tried it, and I was like, "I love this." And then I got interested in Dune.
But Command and Conquer had that more mainstream appeal of just standard military.
It was more polished. It was it had the soundtrack, man. The fucking soundtrack.
Yeah.
So good.
One of these nights, we'll have to check out some of like the overhaul mods that people have done, especially for Red Alert 2, because they also overhauled the soundtracks. There was one me and Smokey were playing, and I was like, "Holy shit! They metaled this soundtrack up something fierce," and it was just well done, and still fit what was going on.
Well, yeah. Oh, here we go. Here's another weekly reminder to buy
I gotta
physical
step away
media.
for just a second. I'll be right back.
PlayStation just sent out the notice that they are deleting 551 movies, possibly, from people's accounts because they lost their rights deal with Studio Canal. So movies like Rambo: First Blood, Bridget Jones' Diary, Deer Hunter, Terminator 2, Total Recall. If you bought them through the PlayStation like movie ecosystem, it's just been yeeted from your account. They're going to be
tough
gone.
shit. Yes.
Because remember, what you are buying when you buy it from Amazon or the PlayStation Store or you are buying access to a digital rental as long as the service has the rights to it.
Mm-hmm.
You do not buy the movie. So if you want to own the movie, you have to buy the physical copy. And here's the fun thing. The United States, if you are a viewer and live in the United States, is perfectly legal to make a digital copy of physical media you own.
That's
Yes.
correct.
That is long settled
And
law
also
in
goes
the
for
United
video
States.
games too.
Yes, so as long as you have a physical copy of it, it is completely legal to have a digital version. Like Imp is saying, if you use an emulator and you have classic Nintendo games, if you have the actual cartridge, it's legal.
Even Nintendo tried to make it so emulation itself is considered illegal, and for once in their lives, they were pretty much laughed out of court.
Because again, this is one of the times where the legal system in the United States got it right very early. That if you have physical ownership of media, it is well within your rights with your property to make backups, to do whatever you would like with your own physical media. You don't have a temporary usage license or things like that, which is why people even sued when some Blu-ray discs, when they first came out, had a DRM kind of style online like unlock feature, and that had to go. You can put encryption to keep it from getting copied illegally, but even then, it only took people a little bit to get around that. But you can't make it so your machine has to be online to play the disc.
There was also another thing they tried doing. They tried getting manufacturers of Blu-ray devices to put cameras into the players so it could scan the room to see how many people were watching the movie.
Jesus.
And if there was more people than the license allowed for, you'd get a prompt asking for money.
Tell
Saying-
governments that. They'll use that.
But it never caught on because people were like, fuck
No.
you.
No.
For a number of reasons.
When I bought
Well,
I remember the first smart TV I bought where it had one of the cameras built in.
Piece of tape.
I immediately hacked it open and just disconnected it. I don't trust it. So I was like,
I mean, my parents aren't overly tech savvy, but on their new doorbell, it had a thing for a camera. My dad's like, we don't have a fucking security camera on the front door. So he's like, I don't know what it does. I don't care what it does. Just put a piece of black tape over it.
here, it's weird to say this. I don't mind the outward facing camera.
No. But it's just one of those things of, okay, why does, it's a doorbell. It's
Yeah,
not,
I mean,
it was just advertised as a doorbell, not a smart doorbell, not something that would work with a ring or
Yeah.
anything like that. He's just like, yeah, no. He's like, don't trust it, don't care.
I actually don't mind the camera doorbell, just because I do like. It is convenient to be able to see who's at my door before I walk towards it. Not to mention, and this is again, not to get into rabbit holes, having cameras like that can help you deal with aggressively enforcing overstepping authority figures too. There is a not inconsequential number of times where people who have been swatted or had their house based on a false warrant, or think Afro Man, having the cameras showing what they were doing became essential to helping win that case. So
Yeah.
I don't. So I'm kind of. I don't put any cameras up in the interior of my house. I don't like that, but I do like the exterior cameras just to record who's
All right, I'm
coming
back.
out there. Yeah, and then also because I do get a lot of stuff delivered, so I like the idea of recording who might be trying to dick around with my deliveries. If
One
that
thing
happens.
I've noticed lately, I've gotten a couple packages from Amazon, and even when I order something surprisingly from through AliExpress, I don't remember what carrier delivered it. I got an email with a
Usually
picture.
it's DHL.
Right, but I don't know if they actually delivered it to my house or they passed it off to like FedEx or something. I don't remember. It was a few months back. But I would get an email saying it was delivered, and if I hit the link in my email, it would take me to Amazon or whatever, and it would show a picture of my porch with the package
Amazon
there.
does that. Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I was like, that's weird.
I don't get a lot of those anymore because I usually see them, and I just come out and grab the package.
I got a board game via eBay. That was done with that.
You buy stuff on eBay? I don't trust eBay.
I didn't have a fucking problem. Well, anytime I order something from a site I'm sketchy about, be it eBay or like a CD key site, I do it through PayPal. PayPal has their own fair share of fucking problems, but they do. If you say, "Hey, I didn't get my shit," and you can prove it, which is usually pretty easy, they'll refund your money.
Yeah, usually.
So, well, also where I got it via eBay was an actual store location that had a brick and mortar shop as well as sold stuff on eBay.
Not bricks and minifigs. Hopefully.
No.
It reminds me of Slender Kid 1 and 2. You know, they're both in their 20s at this point. They're always doing those weird Facebook marketplace things where it's like, oh, I just gotta go pick this thing up, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna get shot. Like, this is not someone just giving you some shit. This is an ambush waiting to happen. No. They do it. They come back with weird shit. Oh, I got this for $10. Oh, this TV doesn't even work. Yeah, no shit. Why do you think they were selling it for $10?
And considering the deal I got too, is one of those things where it's like, yeah, that board game normally sells for about 80 and I can get it for 40. Yeah, I think I'll do that.
If it's not a small world, I don't care. That's my board game. Love that game.
No, I just grabbed the 40K version of Talisman, called Relic.
Ah.
So I have most of the normal Talisman stuff. There's a couple expansions of the mini expansions I didn't get because I just didn't care. The mechanics just didn't interest me.
Right.
But I have all the main ones. My buddy's like, God damn it, man. I'm like, what? He's like, every time you come over with that fucking board game, I got to get out the freaking leaf for the table. I was like, be thankful we don't play other games, dude. I was like, go look at what a board setup for Gloomhaven is.
Global thermonuclear warfare. That's a good game.
Do you want to play a game?
This is why, once upon a time, I got a couple of those big old corrugated plastic folding tables.
Yeah.
I've got 3 of them. I spent like $150. Got 3 of them. And if we're doing board games, we just bust them out.
Yeah. I mean, because like I said, certain games, man. Good God.
I mean, there were like 7 or 8 of us playing D&D at that point, so I also spent like another $150 on stackable chairs.
I'm trying to convince my one buddy who plays a lot of D&D to turn the table he has in his downstairs den, which is where him and the guys play D&D. I'm like, turn it into one of those fucking ultra fancy gaming tables, dude.
I would love to. I have some project ideas for something like that.
He's
but
like, yeah, but they're so fucking expensive. I'm like, dude, you dropped $100K to refinish your basement to turn it into this.
I want to do it myself. I'm gonna rebuild the wood shop before I start trying to build a new gaming table.
You just told me you're going to have to drop another $35K to fix the bathroom down here. Gee, a $3,000 table's going to break the bank.
We have comments. Bride says, I just refuse to pay ungodly amounts of money for things that should not be that expensive.
Agreed.
Now, I think, given the makeup of the panel,
I'm not wearing makeup.
we can actually do an anime segment. which is nice.
I
I'll
guess,
see you guys
'cause
later
I don't
then.
care about anything that's current because
How can you say that when an anime that I think you might actually enjoy, Saga of Tanya the Evil,
I know what it is. I saw the
is
first
coming
bit.
back.
It's okay.
Okay, it seems like it's right up your alley.
Saga of Tanya the Evil is pretty good, and that
It-
I usually wouldn't go in for that kind of one, but I like it.
Yep. So, yeah, I know, Eric, but maybe you should, instead of snoozing, you should. Oh, is that a happy face?
I think
can't
that's a
tell.
happy face.
Oh, good. Yeah, shifty. Yeah. All right, so
Kind of
this
like me with my music taste, my anime tastes are kind of old school.
this upcoming summer
Yeah, we can only
season-
do this when we don't have Matt and
Matt,
Brahma
'cause-
because they go all
Get-
fucking dude bro on us. Anime stupid.
And
I
Mad,
watch real shows.
Mad, I love Mad, but when he is disinterested in a topic, he will either check out and go,
No, he won't. He'll torpedo the fuck out of the
or
topic.
I was about to say, or the more likely scenario is he will completely try to derail and moving and get you
Well, yeah,
off of it.
it is either or because they'll be like, "Oh, you're talking about what? I'm gonna go have a smoke," and then he gets distracted by a squirrel.
Yeah, Biggles and Sporks would be good for the anime time. But look at the three up the top in terms of returning ones that are going to be great. We have Saga of Tanya the Evil coming back for its second season. It seems like forever. It's crazy that
It's been
took
a
this
long fucking time.
Yeah. Mushoku
Yeah.
Tensei is coming back for season 3, and this is one of the most lit arcs of this entire manga / light novel. So this is going to be great. And then this is one I'm really looking forward to. Trapped in a Dating Sim, The World of Otami Games
Oh,
is Tough for Mobs, season 2. Don't act like you don't like
The
that
first
one.
season was good. The
Yeah.
first
I've
season
never
was
even
good.
heard of it.
It was good. I liked it.
I know that Slender would like this show because this guy can't help but mock and belittle the Otami characters because when he played the game, they were so broken and frustrating. He was so mad at them. He had to humiliate them. Like, why are you so hard to play with? Like, you never have the right combos. You're terribly balanced. It was good.
Can you navigate Tokyo without knowing or speaking Japanese? Yeah.
Yeah, Japan is very friendly towards. Now, I should be
You
clarifying.
pick you up Persona 5, and you'll figure it out.
So
I don't. think
I'm gonna.
that's true at all.
All right, I want to clarify something. Japan is generally very welcoming of Western tourists, but there is a thing where YouTubers and streamers have started fucking that up in the last
Yeah,
few years.
I would go out of your way to learn some very basic Japanese. Like
They
real
will
basic
appreciate
kind
it.
of yeah, they will appreciate it,
and
and
then they
just
will
don't
speak
act
English.
like an asshole.
Yeah, because it is required in Japanese schools to take English
Yeah,
classes.
and there's also certain cultural things over
Yeah.
there that you better get used to real fucking quick. Like debit cards aren't a thing at all. They pay cash for everything still over there.
You can still use cards there.
You can use credit cards, but
Yeah.
more often than not, for like a small purchase, like you getting a coffee, you hand them a card, they're gonna look at you funny.
Yeah. The other thing is in a weird twist, and it's gonna. You might think you sound racist doing it, but a lot of times, the Japanese language lacks words for certain things that are English. So what they are just gonna say things in English with heavily accented Japanese, like hamburger.
Yeah.
like they don't have that in, like, it was never part of their language before it came over as an English word. So in Japanese, it is just an accented version of the English word. So it can throw you off as they're talking.
Or they
and then,
have-
yeah.
I don't know what the term is for it, but they'll take words that are pretty close to English, but not like what they call pro wrestling. I hate to bring it up again. It's just pro wrestling.
All right, so we've got. Trying to think. Look at else. What else? Bleach is coming back. That show's been going on forever.
That arc has been going on forever.
Yeah.
Dude, Bleach lost me when they did the Bound arc.
Here's
Yeah,
another.
This final arc, though, Slender, is actually really fucking good.
Okay.
It's
Here
also
you go,
really fucking dark.
If I remember correctly, the Bount arc was when they got ahead of the mangas.
That was a filler arc. It wasn't even in the manga.
Yeah, I fucking hated it. I was like, so they're fighting Pokemon masters now. Is essentially what they're doing.
And they never talked about it ever again.
Here you go, Slender. Skeleton Knight in Another World
fuck
season
yes! I loved the first season of that.
2. Yep.
And I've been eating good these last couple of weeks because, man, they've got so many good rom-coms and slice of life going on right now.
Did you watch Clevitas?
Which one's
When it
that?
was- That's the one with the like the demon dog that becomes a person and is with the kid. Rescues.
Is that the one where she rips the girl in half at the beginning and then puts her back together because she needs
Yep,
help?
and makes it his zombie slave.
Yes, that one was really good, actually.
Yeah, season 2 coming out in July.
I am excited for a season 2 on that one as well. Because there's something like basically, she's like a god in that world, right? And apparently there's other giant creatures that are also gods, but there's a suspicion that one of the gods is breaking the rules or something. So they're investigating. It's very interesting. I'm liking that one.
And it does not pull punches with giving characters exceedingly sad backstories.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
It is. But they have exceedingly sad backstories, but it pays off because things start to work out for them.
I agree. Yep. So we've got that. Oh, you want rom-coms. You and I are polar opposites, season 2.
I
you like
liked
that
the
one?
first season.
Yep. And then this is the goat of the parodies. The 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really like you.
I couldn't get into it.
It's so funny.
I tried, couldn't get into it.
Did you watch Old Country Bumpkin, The Mastered Swordsman? That one was on Amazon. I think you would like that
I did
one.
watch it on Amazon, and I thought it was really good.
Yeah, so season 2 of that is coming. We've got a new version of Ghost in the Shell, which is going to be
A terrible
interesting.
idea.
It
'Cause they-
depends.
Sometimes the remakes can be good.
But it also depends because the original Ghost in the Shell stuff was based on the manga. From what I had heard, this is going to be following the manga closer.
Yeah, if you looking at this poster, that looks like they're going full manga design as the style.
I hope they do well.
The last one of the last ones I saw, I didn't think was all that good. It was like a prequel one. I forgot what. Might have been Arise. I think it was Ghost in the Shell Arise.
Yeah.
It wasn't. That
I'm interested
good.
to see if people because if you're looking at this is super 90s styling. This is late 80s, 90s style anime. It is so distinctly different than what the anime starting in the mid 2000s through now has become. I'm just wondering if audiences will be okay, because if you even look at was it Ranma? They just redid.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like people kind of giving it shit with some of the design. It's Ranma.
It's from the early 80s.
Yeah.
That's
Knock it
what
off.
they looked like back then.
That's
and
what it was as the time, and that's the style of the time.
honestly, me and Bride have had that conversation, and I do think that anime was better drawn 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was. Like, I'm
Because it was
sorry,
all-
but every character looks like a kid now. Like, it used to be you could tell the adults from the children very easily because the adults looked like fucking adults. But now, it's like the 40-year-old looks like he got out of high school last week, you know?
And I will also say to the style, the hand you back at, I would say peak anime for me was around the late 90s, early 2000s, where it was 99% hand drawn, and they would use CGI for like 1% of some, and it was usually
they'd render
background,
some complex building.
buildings, background elements,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like, especially mecha anime.
Yeah.
Like-
No. Let me correct you on that because the first time mecha anime started using CGI, it looked like shit.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Mecha anime was much better
When it
before
was
they
hand-drawn.
start.
Oh, yeah,
when
for
it was
sure.
hand
Draw those fucking robots, damn
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Like,
Because
you know,
Gundam
like
Seed, when that first came out, looked fucking awful.
There's
you
a
look at the
place
Gundams,
for
even if you didn't know what CGI was, you could look at that and go, something's wrong with that.
there's a place for CG in anime, but it is being overly relied upon in a lot of series these days.
Yes,
like
I would agree.
what CG should be doing for anime
It's backgrounds.
is backgrounds, or when you're doing massive crowd shots for like a medieval or fantasy anime when it's a battle and you use CGI to clone the
Yeah, but
background
to be
characters.
perfectly honest, I'd rather they just go back to using the old school still shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, my tasteful use of CGI Gate had a
Yeah.
fairly decent use of CGI where it
Yeah,
was
I'd agree
kind of
with you on
limited. It was mostly hand drawn style, but maybe
They-
a couple of the dragon elements and things like that.
They did a great job with it in I know I don't think you ever watched it, Chad, but it's still one of my favorites was Lord of Mysteries. Mm-hmm. In Lord of Mysteries, they used it for a lot of the buildings, because the buildings were all very steampunk Victorian style buildings, and it just worked really well. And then because they did CG with it and didn't draw it, they could do a lot of cool like flying shots and twisting shots, and they could actually move through the building, and they did a lot of cool shit with it that way. But all the characters were still drawn, the monsters were still drawn, but a lot of the world that they were in was generated, and it worked really well.
And it's funny too, because I've seen people like go back and go watch what's like something that's considered a classic, like the Record of the Lodos War, and kind of be like, "Oh my god, this is so cheesy. Look at some like these fight sequences and
Fuck
blah, blah,
off!
blah."
Greatest anime ever.
And it's like, yeah, okay, right, but here's something that you don't understand. Go and look and see what the budget for it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't really big, and considering the detail that had, anyways, I'm sure the art, the animation and the art was not cheap.
Dude,
And yes, that is.
Parn was like the greatest knight ever. Deedlit was awesome.
It's a great OVA series.
Gimli was cool as fuck. Ato, Slain, they were all awesome.
Gimli was Lord of the Rings there, buddy.
Gim.
Yeah, Gim, not Gimli.
He was Korean, Kim Lee.
I mean, we know where they took the name from, okay?
Well, yeah, I mean, because that whole series was just based off of a Japanese guy's D&D campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm trying to find if there's romance ones for Slender.
I mean, at this
There
point,
are so many good romances going on right now, man.
the only thing I'm actually looking forward to, and I don't know when it's going to be available for me to watch it, is the new Gundam movie.
They're running one
isn't it
right
coming
now.
in theaters?
It's called the Klutzy Hall Monitor and the girl with the short skirt. That one's hilarious. What else we got? We got the noble what is it? The Noble Knight Princess and the Barbarian King. So good. There's so many, like, I made a list the other day. I'm pretty sure I told you I was eating good.
Oh, this one looks like it. The Ogre's Bride. That one sounds like it's gonna be. I mean, just that poster right there. It looks like it's gonna be a romancy anime. But nothing. You like the humorous ones though, usually.
I do. Like I said, I like the rom-com and the slice of life. Those are my go-tos. Oh, Observation Log. Observation Log is fantastic. An observation log of my villainous fiance.
Yep.
That one's great.
I've
been watching I Want to End This Love Game. That one's pretty damn good too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also looking forward to when we get our next season of Dangers in My Heart. But that's not coming for a little while. It seems like most of the ones this season that are.
Oh, okay. There is something
romance.
coming that might garner my interest.
What would that be?
Fist of the North Star.
Oh yeah, Fist of the North Star Part 2.
I don't know if it's something new or if they rebooted the original. Looks like
I
they might
think
have rebooted the original.
They rebooted it, but they did it. If I remember right, they did it in the style of the '80s Fist of the North Star. So it's
Which
just
is
like
smart.
it is smart. It's for people who don't understand. Fist of the North Star is like a serious.
It's very, very, very popular in Japan.
It's
Like,
kind of
very.
like. How do you explain it to somebody who doesn't know about Fist of the North Star?
Fist of the North Star. I think a kung fu movie meets Mad Max with superpowers.
Meets One Punch Man.
Yeah, like the violence is insanely over the top, and in some
It's-
cases, insanely hysterical.
It lands somewhere between Berserk and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Nah,
That-
I wouldn't even put it closer to Berserk because it's dark in a Mad Max way, but not dark like how Berserk is.
Well, that's why I said it's somewhere between Berserk and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Because like the guy who draws JoJo, the guy who does Fist doesn't know proportions.
Yeah,
Or
everybody is
size.
ginormously muscular,
Or
much
just
like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Or just ginormous, period. 'Cause
But it's a
his
lot
main-
more serious than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
JoJo's is serious, but the level
It
of
has
comedy-
its moments.
Yeah. Although I do love the fact that we did get a great meme out of that.
I mean, at the end of the day, I
And-
immediately picked up on the naming convention of
Oh, yeah.
JoJo's Bizarre
Yeah,
Adventure
yes.
and could never take it serious after that moment.
There's another one that's out there. They did it back in the 90s, and they redid it and added to it from the manga. A series called Bastard.
It was me, Dio.
No, that's not even the meme I'm talking about. It's the next year. Pretend you're retarded.
No, I'm just because of that. I could
Yeah.
not.
Well, and his henchman's name was Vanilla Ice.
Yep. And then they ran into those weird Aztec gods, and they all
Yeah, it
had.
was like Cars, AC/DC, and Wham.
Yes, that was what it was.
So,
and to
Bastard,
hear it in Japanese too, like that's one of the few that I would actually watch
yeah, 'cause it's
subtitled
not Wham,
because
it's Whammo.
Whammo, ACDC!
Yeah, yeah. It's like, what? Or the woman who trains one of the main characters is Lisa.
Yeah. So
Or
good.
the friend of the family was R.E.O. Speedwagon.
REO Speedwagon.
But Bastard, you might like Slender because it's considered dark fantasy, but not like Berserk or Claymore.
I've seen it. I
That one also
saw it
had
a
a-
long time ago and barely remember it, but I know that I did not hate it the way that I hated Berserk.
With that one, I think the naming convention will really just make you go, wait, what? Because everything's named after metal. Like the kingdom's called Metallicana.
Of course.
The main villain is Anthraxis. He casts a spell called Black Sabbath.
Of course.
You know, and he also casts one called Exodus.
Gotta bust out that Symphony of Destruction.
Yeah, I believe Megadeth is used in that terminology as well. Same with Halloween. He fights a vampire that looks and sounds like King Diamond.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I didn't have any problems with Bastard.
Yeah, it's dark fantasy, but not, like I said, not like Berserk or Claymore or...
Weirdly, I found
Akame
an
got killed.
old anime that I watched for nostalgia the other day. I think it was on Amazon or I found it on Crunchyroll or something, but it's an old one. One from like when I was like a young man and first getting into anime, The Ruin Explorers.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, it wasn't a series. It was just like, well, it wasn't a long running series. It was just like 2 movie length.
So it's probably like 2 ovas.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was silly and cute.
Well,
That
to
one and
answer-
Slayers. I liked
yeah.
Slayers a lot too.
To answer Bride's question real quick, no, Fire Force ends with season 3. I believe the second half of season 3 just finished, so or is in the process of just
I
finishing.
want a season 2 for Sentence to Be a Hero.
So.
I kind of did something a few years ago. So
No, I think season 2 of Sense to Be a Hero is already being worked on.
In the works.
Yep.
So here's the power of nostalgia in video games meets anime. One of the video game franchises that I really enjoy is called the Super Robot Wars. Anime mechs meets Final Fantasy Tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Playing one back in the day, it goes into when the mech joins your roster, it shows its transformation sequence. Some little trigger went off in the back of my head going, I know this. How do I know this? Did some digging. There was a animated movie that I remember from when I was like 4 years old called Starbirds, which was taking a bunch of the episodes of this one anime, smashing it together, translating it into English, and changing the plot.
I think I saw that. Starbird sounds really familiar to me.
Did you
I
see?
wouldn't be surprised if everybody on the panel, with the exception of maybe 70s, saw that when they were younger. Because I remember seeing it on HBO.
That wasn't
Yeah.
Battle for the Planets, right?
No, it wasn't Battle for the
Okay.
Planets. And weirdly enough, the only time I saw Battle of the Planets was when I was at my grandmother's house, even though we had the same channel where I lived.
Was that further up into New England?
No.
'Cause-
My grandparents lived down on Long Island.
So my
Yeah, I don't think
my
I've ever seen
family,
it.
my mother's side, was all up in Massachusetts, and so they had the Boston networks. And I got when we were living in Japan, it was weird. She would tape Saturday morning cartoons for us because
Right.
Armed Forces Network, you got one channel, right? So
Yeah.
she would send over the tapes. And what was great
Yeah,
is
it's
this
not
was-
really a network, is it?
No, I was explaining it to my wife because I was like, the Armed Forces Network is an amalgamation where when you were over there, you had one channel that
And it
was
would just show everything.
no,
that they
and it
wanted.
would be like they would pick and choose from NBC, ABC,
Yeah.
CBS. Like it was a mixed smorgasbord lineup of what they felt like they would want to air. But so we would get the tapes and we would watch it. But that was in the golden era of the random syndication of Japanese anime, where a random company in the U.S. would import it and have it dubbed, and then do it. So I got in New England, it was Force 5, which was
that was a little before my time,
that was
but not by much. Yeah, it was
if-
5 different anime series. It was Getter Robo was one
it was
of them.
Getter Robo, and
Wasn't-
they
The Yamato was one of them.
yeah.
I think another one was Guy King, and the other two
And it was such an amalgamation. My favorite ones was the Getter Robo ones, which was great.
Getter's great.
Yeah, and because they also have they literally have Space Hitler as one of the villains.
Yes, they do. Space Hitler with horns.
He's he wears he's wearing the full on outfit with the mustache and everything. It's crazy. But that was where, and this is where we still have, and what I don't know if you saw it on X this week, Harmony Gold got just destroyed because they put out a it's been we're celebrating 40 or 50 40 plus years of Robotech in America, and the entire comment chain was just like, F you, I can't get Do You Remember Love or Macross here. I hope you die so the rights revert. It was all...
Oh, they fucked over more than just consumers. They fucked over, back in the day, a tabletop company called FASA, who make Battletech and MechWarrior.
Yeah, because they said anything with, anything that has convertible...
No, well, they tried that, but
Yeah.
what happened was, when they were designing BattleTech and the mechs for that, they contacted the art out to a bunch of different people, and they did contact one guy from Japan who did it. And it also turns out it was the guy who did the mech designs for Macross. So, and I forgot how it all worked out. Razorfist has talked about it. Tex from the Black Pants Legion has talked about it. but they pretty much turned around and tried suing the shit out of FASA for using those, claiming they owned them and yada yada yada. And I can't really remember the timeline on it, to the point now where for the longest time there was a good, I think, like 6 or 7 mechs from BattleTech that were considered apocrypha because of the whole situation, and only recently, since Harmony Gold's been hammered in time, in court time and time again, that they started showing up in actual BattleTech and MechWarrior products.
Yeah, and they are. It'd be one thing if they had. Harmony Gold has tried to get fans on board by saying they were going to do new, quote unquote, Robotech continuations.
They haven't done shit.
They haven't done anything.
They haven't done anything since Sentinels.
Nope, and even
that was in the late '80s, early '90s.
And that got buried.
Yeah.
It was it was a thing. I remember seeing on eBay you could get people would make the DivX based DVDs where you could get Sentinels because they made it, they memory hold it, and Harmony Gold does that all the time.
Yep.
They don't even release merge, and and because they have this rights lockdown in North America, these fuckers keep Macross from being ever put on any service.
I
over
really
North
liked that
America.
show too.
Macross.
Yeah.
What's even funnier is, for the longest time, that franchise of games I mentioned, the Super Robot Wars,
Yep.
you couldn't get them over here because of two companies. Harmony Gold being one, because Macross was in the lineup once in a while, but AD Vision, you remember that company?
Mm-hmm.
Because they held rights to, they tried, they wanted to bring one out over here that happened to have the Evangelions in it. AD Vision wanted to charge Bandai, who owns the sub company that puts out this franchise, more money than they paid to get the rights.
Yeah, it's because people don't understand how batshit crazy the Macross stuff is, but do you remember Love actually consolidates it down, and it's very different than what you got in Robotech. They have Maximilian end up with, the Zentradi, the female Zentradi. But he ends up on their ship using one of their mechs instead of her being on the Macross ship. It's a weird thing because they consolidate the whole 36 episode show.
I don't even think it was 36. I think it might have just been 26.
26, whatever the
wrong.
Macross first run was, all the way down to a 2 hour, 1.5 hour, 90, whatever the movie was, and it's great. Do you remember Love is a definitive take on Macross, and
It's
unless
good if
you're
you want to sit down for
bootlegging
an
it,
hour and a half to 2 hours and not 8.
yeah, and because of that, we can't get a good dub. We can't get all that good stuff.
I mean, anybody who asks me where they should start watching Gundam, I usually say at the start. But I don't recommend trying to track down the 50 episodes of the original.
Yeah, just do the couple
movie trilogy.
those movies. Yeah, the 3 movies.
The only thing you're really missing out on is a little bit of character development and a couple minor points here or there. You're going to get the gist.
And
now,
that's when
I don't say that though for the Zeta Gundam movies, because they changed a whole bunch of shit.
No, I would say, and just following up with yours, when I give people like that, you give them this is a good, you watch the movies, it gives you the basic storyline. If you find yourself really enjoying it, you can go back and watch the series, because then you're going to be more interested in, because there was more filler and there was more, but there's more, character moments. But if you need the basic story of, of Amaru versus, versus Char, you're gonna get that, and then you move right from those trilogies to, was it Char's Revenge?
No, from those you would go to Zeta Gundam. Well, not even. From there you would go to 0083, which was either 12 episodes or a single movie. You really don't have to, but that's another one I like to start people with, because it's more like Top Gun with mecha than your standard Gundam series. And it's also, again, only 12 episodes. Then you would go to Zeta Gundam. I would go with again, 50 episodes, but They changed it in the movie trilogy, and they also did something even more unforgivable. They
You
put
wouldn't-
in new animation, which
Yeah.
in and of itself isn't bad, but when you're going from 1985 art and animation to the 2010 something or early 2000s, mid 2000s CG, within from frame to frame, doesn't really looks awful.
Now,
And then you would go to Char's counterattack, and
Yep.
then if you wanted to keep going, you would go with Unicorn Gundam, then Gundam Narrative, which is 12 episodes for Unicorn.
those are still Universal, essentially?
Yeah.
Right?
And then Narrative is a single movie, rather bittersweet one at that. And after that,
You can start getting into the alternate timeline.
no, there's still more
worlds.
Universal Century yet. You could watch the F91 movie. That's okay. That was supposed to be a series, and something happened, so they just condensed shit down into a movie.
Or you can go the route that a lot of Americans did, thanks to Toonami,
And watch Gundam Wing.
and you watch Gundam Wing, which is a standalone.
Yeah.
And you can, so that way you don't have to necessarily, you go straight Gundam Wing to Endless Waltz.
The newest series that they did is actually an alternate universe that ties itself to the Universal Century.
Yeah,
In the weirdest fucking way possible.
Oh, are we talking about Witch from Mercury?
No, G-Clux.
Oh, okay.
It goes multiverse route on us.
That's like one of my favorite video games, and it's out
a
of print now.
multiverse due to a new type trying to save Char.
Oh, okay.
It's some of the weirdest shit I have ever seen.
That's basically the plot from the Gundam Warriors, the Dynasty Warriors Gundam game, where it was like where they just basically multiverse matchup, whatever.
That's exactly what the Robot Wars series is too. But the villains from the various different shows and movies and such start teaming up and working together and so on and so forth.
Which is great because
within context of the series they're originally from too, which is even funnier.
Then you get like if you watch Char and then you watch Gundam Wing, you're like, this is the same villain.
Oh yeah, they've cloned.
It's like,
Char's been cloned more than once.
Exactly. And
Gundam Unicorn's main protagonist is a character called Full Frontal. No, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And like Char, he's a blonde dude with a mask. There's one in Gundam Seed. There's one in Gundam Wing.
Yeah,
they do reusing that trope.
If you enjoy mecha anime, Gundam and Macross have the two most iconic mecha anime designs ever really used.
And if you're older like me,
you might
some
say
of the I wouldn't say Mazinger, but you might also be more
I was going
drawn.
to say Mazinger, or you're going to say
Getter, Voltron, like the more super robot stuff. Where it
Go Line.
Military.
Yeah.
Because there's two distinctions. There's super robot, and then there's real robot. Doesn't mean real as in like it exists, but real as in it's more scientific. You know, when you got stuff like Mazinger Z running on photon energy, or Getter running on Getter energy. You know, a lot of pseudoscience and made up shit. Not that Gundam doesn't have that too, because it does. But it's on a more like, okay, I could conceive of that.
Or you do with Macross with protoculture and all that kind of crazy stuff.
It's not in Macross. That's a Robotech only thing.
No.
Yes,
I think
protoculture was only a Robotech thing.
I thought in Do You Remember Love they talked about the protoculture.
They tried, probably if you were watching an English dub of it.
No, I was watching just a subbed. I'll have to watch because I have to get it's a bootleg, because of course you can't.
Yeah. Well, no. Do You Remember Love was released over here, but then it was taken off the market.
Yeah,
I remember renting it at Blockbuster.
Yeah. It's just hard to get now. I'll tell you. I think I've got a copy. I'll check it out.
I mean, I could be wrong on that because I've seen the 3 separate series that make up of Robotech.
It was
Macross,
Southern Cross,
Space Cavalry, Southern Cross, and Genesis Climber Mospita.
And Mospita. Yeah.
In the other 2 series, they don't ever mention the Zentradi.
No, because they
don't mention anything about protoculture at all.
They changed it.
I'm pretty sure that protoculture, because in the Robotech version of Southern Cross, they do.
No, but I think it was in Macross. But I'll go back and I'll
I mean,
double
I
check.
could be wrong too on that one. It's been a while since I've seen anything Robotech or
But
Macross related.
I mean, but if you wanted in terms of perfect storm of '80s mecha design, you take the F-14 Tomcat and
Yeah.
you make it a transforming robot, and it's like, there you
Still
go.
want to know how Hasbro got away with the shit that they did.
Well, they didn't. And some Harmony Gold shut down. That's why Jetfire got pulled from shelves.
Did it? Because I don't remember ever seeing that getting pulled from shelves.
It did. It got
Did
pulled
it?
from shelves. Yep. It
'Cause
is actually one of the most expensive G1 Transformers
Well, yeah, 'cause
because
it's
of
also
that.
one of the most popular.
Because it's the full on. It's basically one of the Bandai Valkyries from the die-cast
Yeah.
metal. It
Yeah,
was like
die-cast metal,
yeah.
all the extra armor bits.
Yeah, so
The
but
whole
it got
nine.
no, it had to be pulled from shelves, and they had to. That's why in the cartoon
Yeah, he's different.
they have footage of like working footage where he looked like the toy, the Valkyrie,
Mm-hmm.
and they had to go back and redo the episode,
Hmm.
and that's also why he wasn't in the show very much after that, because Hasbro was like, well, we can't sell this toy, so fuck it. Now he's been in stuff now because they have the technology to build a toy like he looks now instead of
I think
you
they
know, the
did
toy they
then,
did.
but they saw that and go, yeah, that'll
we're
sell
just not
really
past
well before any, because
Yeah.
it was before any of the Robotech toys came out.
Exactly. So yeah, so they and then Robotech shit the bed on their toy line, and then eventually it got moved. If you remember, they merged it with Exo Squad, with Exo Squad's like second or third wave.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, no, it was great because by then it was the early mid '90s, and so I think it was Playmates made the Exo Squad toys from the cartoon Exo Squad, and they wanted to have more stuff to make, so they got and they already had the molds from the Robotech toys from like America, from Japan, so they imported using those molds, and they made the deal with Harmony Gold, and they slapped the like you could get the battle pods. You could get the officer pod, like the really good ones. It was great. Like it was all the Zentradi stuff. They didn't. I don't recall them that they didn't do the Valkyries. It was, but
That's
that way
actually
they.
one of the ones that got nuked by Harmony Gold from BattleTech. There's a mech called the Marauder
Yep.
that looks like a fucking Zentradi officer pod.
Yep. Exo Squad was probably one of the best American-made anime style cartoons. It actually had an ongoing storyline. It was mature. It was adult. It didn't succeed because of that. The toys were fantastic. The show was great. It just was it was before America wasn't ready yet. The cartoons were still for kids in the US. It wasn't until the 2000s where people like me and Imp, who had come up watching some of the anime stuff, were more willing to
I
talk
was
about.
watching anime in the early 90s, dude.
Yeah.
Knowingly, it was anime.
I know, but I'm saying it took.
Oh, it took
It's-
everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say about the time of Toonami.
Because it was people like us who were early adopters, so to speak, who made it okay, and then Toonami came around, and that got a lot of like middle school and high school age kids.
I mean, the first anime I ever saw that I knew was anime, because there was stuff in the 80s, again, like Voltron, that was technically anime. I just didn't know it. Was Akira and a couple episodes of the Bubblegum Crisis.
Yep.
And 70s, since I know you like Cyberpunk, watch the Bubblegum Crisis, the original
Okay,
one.
I will do.
It's
I mean,
like
Cyberpunk-
I'm
13.
writing it down now.
Like there's so much 80s and 90s anime that is in the cyberpunk
Yeah.
genre.
Oh, yeah.
It
And there's some of it that's really good.
especially
Bubblegum Crisis, Cyber City 08008.
yeah, especially like movie OVA style ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have to commit to watching whole series about it. Like they were
Nope.
the people doing the movies were way more into the cyberpunk stuff than they were into the other things. Like that was like Akira obviously is one of the
And the
is
funny
a
part
good
about
example.
Akira, it's the middle of the story we got.
Mm.
Because there's like the graphic
yeah.
novel. I think there's like 10 or 12 graphic novels, and we got like volume 4. It gets weirder than what they showed us too, from what I've read.
I mean, Akira's already weird enough.
Yes, but what happens after what happens in the movie, it gets weirder.
I mean, Ghost in a Shell is sort of cyberpunkish.
That's incredibly cyberpunk.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say sort of.
well, because there's
It's
also
kind of
military. There's
no, it's very much so cyberpunk. So is a more recent one. I've heard Comics Division talk about it, and I've seen it too. It's called Psychopass.
I mean, even Alita was cyberpunk,
Yes.
Yeah, yes, it was.
and that was big in that era.
Yep, and it was also only 2 ovas.
Yep.
But
So-
Psychopass is very good cyberpunk.
Trying to think what
Do you
other.
guys ever watch any Korean anime?
Mon was-
I know it's not called anime in Korea. It's a different name.
Well, the mangas are called manhwas,
Yeah, and there's webtoons.
and
That's the Hong Kong. That's the Chinese one.
on
Well,
actually
Koreans
70s.
use webtoons, but there's
you
the
would-
Korean animes like Ainai or Hanguk Ainai or something. It's
Yeah, one of the most popular mainstream animes in the last couple years is a Korean one called Solo Leveling.
See, I've heard of that one.
I
It's-
did
it's-
enjoy Solo Leveling.
It's a manhwa. It's
Manhwa, yeah.
It's like it wears its Korean origins on its sleeve.
I've heard of that one.
Um,
Because I watch a few Korean animated movies. Like
What's-
Lost in Starlight was one that was on Netflix recently. It was pretty good.
What's nice about manhwas is that they do read left to right, which is
Yep.
the Western style of reading, as opposed to Japanese manga, which is right
Back
to
to
left
front and right, yeah.
and backwards.
Yeah.
You
it's
started
not hard to read them right to left, though.
No, it's not.
It takes.
Yeah,
it,
I mean, it's not
it does
hard, but
take a little.
Even though I've gotten used to it, I still have to make the adjustment. Oh, and Shifty, that stands to reason about Nickelodeon because it was a Canadian channel to begin with.
Yes, it was.
There's a couple. There's
Plus,
Solo-
manhwas are also full color, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So Solo Leveling is one. True Beauty is another one I've heard of.
So were the few Chinese comics that I've seen from Hong Kong.
I mean, even
One, they're all martial arts comics.
Yeah.
figure,
Well, no,
but they're in all color.
There's a very popular romance one. How Raylena ended up at the Duke's mansion
Okay.
is a Korean manhwa that was adapted into a popular romance anime.
Yeah, there's quite a few of the webtoons, as they call them, which have been adapted to really good TV shows and movies, live action ones. So I'm trying to track down some of the original source material.
Yeah, Eric, it was Alita Battle Angel. So there's OVAs from the
I've seen that.
90s
I've seen Alita Battle
that are Alita, because such random names for anime. Yeah, anime likes to go into full on. Like, here we go. This is a good example. Coming up this season, we have Heroine Saint. No, I'm an all works maid.
And Soul Assassin, appreciate the Bubblegum Crisis link, but that's not the one I was talking about. That's the one from the early 2000s, and it's not as good as the one from the 80s.
I better write that down. 80s is best.
Yeah, it's only got the one from the 80s is like 12 or 13 episodes. The one Soul
Yeah.
Assassin just linked.
I
is
have
like
a very good
26.
download site. I'm sure I can find it on it.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I've got a specifically. It's one specifically for Asian content. So. Olympus Guardian. That's another one I've got on my list. The Korean one. It's supposed to be quite good.
Yeah, and a lot of the animations houses have Korean offices for animators now too,
Indeed.
and Chinese. They do a lot of and honestly India now too.
Well,
They've started farming out
with
to
some of the
India.
models that I've been building that have been coming from China, I was like, oh, this has its own series. Let me see what it's about. I turned it off within 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, dear.
100% CG,
Okay.
and it looks like shit. It's
Coming
so
out of
CG.
where?
Let's talk about this weirdest one called "Do You Love Your Mom?" and her two-hit combo. No, you left off the combo part. I've seen that anime. It's funny. It's not necessarily the weirdest anime title, but it's up there.
Yeah.
There's also My Sister Followed Me to Another World. There's there, but no, I don't know. There's anime titles. Was it I Was Reincarnated as a Vending Machine?
That one's so weird.
See, that one's been adapted to certain live action shows, I think. Chicken Nugget was one of them, a Korean one, where somebody turns into a chicken nugget, but there's a vending machine as well. That somebody ends up. That's I love that stuff. It's just stupid and crazy. The guy turns into a chicken nugget, but he ends up in a box of chicken nuggets, so you never know if he's going to get eaten or not.
The Korean dramas are taking over on the streaming services.
So good.
Like
That's
Amazon,
all I watch. Virtually
there's-
all I watch.
Amazon, I think it's because I watch some anime on Amazon, like specifically Old Country Bumpkin and stuff like that. It now recommends to me. It constantly is recommending I watch these Korean drama shows.
Oh, I could give you a list of 10 that you should watch.
I've just gone back recently and started rewatching old '80s shonen. You probably know it, Chad. Saint Seiya.
Oh yeah. What did that got changed to? The Knights of the Zodiac.
That was for France.
That's the Americanized.
No,
version.
it never. I don't think it ever came out here, but it hit really
Did-
hard in like France.
I know
Spain,
South
and
America is huge.
Yeah,
It is still huge in South America.
yeah,
Like,
it's good. It's good. It's what a shonen should be compared to some of the shit they put out nowadays under that genre.
Shonen it's tough. I was really excited when Kinnikuman came back, but I don't know if that hit. It didn't seem to hit very well. Because Kinnikuman is one of the original shonen shows and mangas, and that's why. And because it actually was based on pro wrestling, which is what shonen was kind of based
And there's
on.
also been two. And we keep going back to this for some reason. Two actual official pro wrestling animes based on actual people. Tiger Mask and Tiger Mask W.
Yep.
Who King from
so-
Tekken is based on.
Yeah.
I could recommend one single Korean show to you. It's the one I'm sharing right now on my screen. And it's
This
called
one right here?
Moving. And it's
Moving.
about parents with superpowers protecting their kids who've got superpowers from governments that want to steal and abuse them or use them. It's fucking awesome. It's one of the best shows I've ever seen. It's written by a guy called Kang Pool, who does he's done a lot of webtoon stuff that's been adapted to live action. Light Shop was another show he did recently. These are on, believe it or not, are on Disney Plus in Korea. And they're
Then I'm definitely
wonderful.
never gonna watch them.
Oh no, they're fucking awesome. This is one of the best shows you'll ever see. Just so fucking good.
I ain't getting Disney Plus for shit.
It's just full of great superhero action, or superpower action, I should say, but mixed up with spy stuff and North and
yeah.
South Korean intrigues, and Americans are trying to get involved. They all want these kids, But there's just some of the action that's just kick ass.
I will say the first thing that got me willing to
top
accept
stars, isn't it?
that Korean stuff was good, and I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat, was Train to Busan.
Oh,
Like-
fucking awesome movie.
Like I had slept on Korean movies
Yeah.
for a long time, and then I watched that one and I was like, holy shit, is this good?
Yeah, I cannot recommend this show highly enough. I'm not kidding. If you're into genre type stuff,
So it's
great mixture of
basically like The Incredibles, but more
live
angry.
action and more angry.
Yeah.
The top stars as well. It's full of top Korean actors. It's not. They didn't skimp on this one. Let's put it that way. The guy that plays the guy there that was doing the shooting with the pistol, he can fly. But he's also a crack shot. But his buddy that he works with he can heal fast, and he's strong, but he's pretty dumb as a result. That's the drawback. So they
Shifty-
both, as a team, they work well together.
Yeah. Shifty says he got the Disney Hulu HBO Max bundle with streaming DirecTV for $43. That's not bad.
Well,
for
watch
that.
Moving, watch Light Shop. That's a fabulous Disney Plus show. There's a show called Big Bet, which is brilliant. And they're all the top Korean actors do these shows. They don't, they love to do this TV stuff. But this one's so good. There's a guy in it. He's a Korean, but he's been raised in America, and he's like John Wick on steroids. And he's there to try and kill all these guys and steal their kids, take back to America.
Well,
Fucking
I
awesome.
think what you would agree with what you were saying there, 70s, how they get all these big stars and it's a genre piece and they're
Yeah.
100% into it. I think that being ashamed of being in a genre piece like that, I think that's only a Western thing, because even
Yeah,
like,
these
Japanese
guys love it.
actors,
this
that
guy
were all
there.
the Toho studio actors for like all the Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
Anytime that any question ever got brought up after they stopped making Godzilla movies, how these actors they got their start in monster movies, they were 100% proud to do it.
Yeah, these guys love it, and the thing about this show is it's all about family, couples protecting their kids and families. It's full of family heart and emotion, It's not cynical like Western stuff would be, They will do anything to protect their children, including destroying whole cities. It's that kind of. There's one episode where the guy at the front there, Ryo Sung Rong, who's the guy that can heal fast, but he's strong, but he's pretty dumb. I think it's episode 11 or 12. The whole episode is him fighting hundreds of guys through this town that are trying to catch him, just for building to building, and he grabs them and jumps off the top of the building to kill them, and he can get up and recover. And he's got a corridor scene, like everyone loves that corridor scene in what's that Marvel show?
Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil. He does one that's like 10 times better in this show.
The one from the Raid was also better than the one
Yeah,
from Daredevil.
it feels like the Raid with the fighting in it, but it's got the heart and soul of a family show too. It's got everything. So I honestly, I know I'm banging on about it, but I just love it to death. It's such a good show. It's adapted from a webtoon, like a manga. So good stuff. Anyway, that's my Korean plug for the day.
All right.
He doesn't fall. Josh says, does he fall down a series of steps? Well, he does, but he also falls off buildings, out of helicopters, and various other things. Gets hit by trucks. But his flying buddy helps to save him. Anyway.
Well, I think 70s. What shows do you have coming up? Since we're kind of towards the end of the episode.
Monday, my regular Monday show will be about album art, album cover art. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Imp should join that show and suggest a few good ones.
I actually probably will, since I'm on disability as of now.
Oh, great. Good. Well, not good about that, but good that you can join me. So send me a few ideas so I can get the artwork downloaded first and show them off. And it could be good ones, or it could be really bad ones.
Yeah, and I got that, both of those, and everything in between, really.
I'm trying to debate whether I should show the Scorpions Virgin Killer cover, but probably not.
Probably not, no.
But yeah, that's going to be a fun show. I won't be playing any music, just showing the album art, but it'll be good. People love to talk about them. We've had some good music shows recently. Got a lot of fun out of them. So anyway, that's Monday, 2:30 p.m. Mountain Time.
Imp, this is probably random. And do you have any stuff?
Actually, I do. Since you
got?
weren't there Tuesday, you didn't hear this.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, sometime probably between 8 and 10 Eastern, I got to talk to Slender about this a bit more and touch base with the Magnificent One. Going to be doing a stream for my birthday.
Nice.
So probably just going to sit back and game our generally retarded self.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Super.
Slender, you got a Ascendant Arcade streams coming up?
Probably.
Way to go, Mr. Vague Post.
I don't want to commit to anything. I've been sick.
He is right. If you don't set an expectation, you can't disappoint people by not meeting the expectation. So
there's nothing like setting low expectations and then failing to meet them.
Dude, under promise, over deliver. That's my motto.
Under promise and under deliver. That's mine.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out. We're gonna go ahead and call it a night. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good one.
A Mad Cavelli production. The stream's now behind, but there's no need to be glum. We'll return with more jests, with humor to come. So click click that damn subscribe and let the good vibes thrive. For the next grand stream, we'll surely jive. Ascend and I, we've charted the spree with synapses sparking, hilarity you can't believe. You've brought your joy, so now you must go. But keep the party in your heart, yo. Keep the giggles, keep the banter, keep the screams delight. Until our next stream, keep the fun in sight. In this virtual voyage where streams do end, remember with Ascend and Art, we'll always fucking ascend. Oops, we forgot about Imp, he's bound to reappear. With chaos in his wake, all we can do is persevere. Are you happy now, Imp?